4. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Welcome into my humble home here in Santa Cruz, California, where today it is beautiful, yet a little bit foggy for my taste. Anyways, I get to be inside with you, having fun today during this here iteration of GymACT Live. Today's competition, we have the first head-to-head virtual competition between these two GymACT teams, Georgia United and Gymnastics at UIC. And UIC athletes are mostly from the University of Illinois, Chicago today. Anyways, today's meet is Georgia United versus Gymnastics at UIC. Today it is Sunday, April 18th, 2021, and the GAU team, or Georgia, is coming to us today from the Cobb Challengers Gymnastics Center, and UIC coming to us live today from City Club Gymnastics Academy. Today's competition is going to be hosted by Virtual Stars Gymnastics, and the video production by GymACT. And the format of the competition will be a 5-up, 4-count challenge. And then after the competition, we will swap those scores for the 5-up, 5-count so that we can submit them to Road to Nationals. All right, let's go ahead and change here the screen for a moment and bring up my gallery view. And also I will double check to make sure that the stream is live and running. Always good to double check these things before we go too far so that folks at home are watching and enjoying this competition with us. Looks like everything is working out according to plan. So folks, if you are on the YouTube channel, you can always go ahead and click on the Virtual Stars Gymnastics site there where you can see the scoreboard presented live and in real time from the judges. And also, if you are on the Virtual Star site, you can always go into the YouTube feed and comment and ask questions, and we'll be dealing with that as we go throughout the competition. All right. Now, let me move on with the event at hand. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have these two awesome teams. And first, I would like to introduce the team from Georgia. They are at Cobb Challengers Gymnastics, and they are coached by Coach Tyler Green and Nikita Zukov, excuse me. And the team representative today will be making sure that the judges communicate with the athletes accordingly, will be their own coach, Tyler Green. Tyler, are you there with us, sir? Let's go ahead and through the Zoom camera of your team, unmute that.
We are here.
Awesome. But I can't see you. I'd love to see your beautiful face so that we can know what you look like when we hear your voice. That would be even better. Can you stand in front of the camera while you do that? Or is that possible? I know I throw a curveball at you guys every time.
This is all about the guys. This isn't about me.
All right, all right. Well, thanks for waiting.
Presenting first, Adam Hutchison. We have Jamin Rasmussen. Ruin Utchig. Bo Buckner, and Hunter Clulo.
That's awesome. Thank you for introducing the team, Tyler. And yes, indeed, this is all about the guys. So let's go over to UIC and have Coach Charlie Nelson. So UIC is coming to us today from City Club Gymnastics Academy, and Coach Charlie Nelson, assisted by Satchel Hudson. And Charlie will be the team representative there as well. Charlie, welcome and good morning.
Good morning. You can hear me all right, yeah?
We can hear you perfectly.
Sounds good. I want to make sure we have that tech working. Otherwise, you know, me on mute doesn't sound so great. I'd like to introduce our team here today. First, we have Billy Hollis, Stephen Forbes, Elvin Stevens Jr., Sam Montague, Tim Seru, Eric Barnes, Sam Norwood, Alan Schwartz, Nick Smiley, and James Streben.
Awesome. Thank you, Charlie, for the introduction of the team there. You guys all look fantastic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start things off officially with the playing of the national anthem. So if you are able and capable, please stand, or in whatever manner you see fit to to honor our national anthem.
Dead in the middle.
Thank you very much. And before I go too far, I would like to just give one quick shout out, if I can, to the wonderful performance yesterday by the Stanford Cardinals, repeating their second in a row national title in NCAA. And congratulations to Mr. Brody Malone, also from Stanford, for winning his title as an all-arounder. Well done, all the teams. Congratulations, especially to my brother, my friend, my former coach, Mike Burns from the Golden Gophers, who hosted this beautiful competition over in Minnesota, and that was the team's last hosting of any varsity gymnastics competition in the NCAA program. So congratulations to everyone who competed there. So gentlemen, please go to your first competitive event. You have 2-minute warm-up to start out there, and I will go ahead and continue introducing virtually the rest of the personnel here. So good luck to all the athletes today. So we are here at representing GymACT today, and GymACT's mission statement states that we are here to foster the growth of men's college gymnastics programs, strengthen and raise the level of our sport, and protect the relationships and integrity of collegiate gymnastics. While promoting the essence of the sport and its competitiveness, we provide ideas and tools to inspire the creation of new teams and support existing teams in their pursuit of higher standards. Today is a perfect example. We have the two opposite ends of the spectrum. We have Georgia United, a brand new team to GymACT this year. They just formed. This is only the second competition against a GymACT team. And we also have UIC, who was a former NCAA varsity team, got dropped from the program from the university, but now they're in their part of the recreational department at the university. But they are a GymACT team, fully fledged and competing against many other teams. And I will show you real quick here on our website that we have 11 teams this year on GymACT. We have Arizona State. We have Georgia United competing today. We have Kansas City United, also a brand new team this year. We have New York Alliance, one of our founding members. My home team, NorCal United. Woo woo, shout out Condors. We have Northern Illinois University, just a stone throw from where UIC is. We've got Rocky Mountain Pride representing the teams that encompass all of Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. It's a wide geographic area, and they all come together for meets. It's awesome. We have Southern California United. We have Temple University. We have University of Illinois at Chicago, UIC here with us today. And we have Washington Men's Gymnastics. That's right, 11 teams across the entire country. And these teams are spread out. They are building opportunities. They are offering the chance for athletes to follow up on their dreams, to keep doing the thing that they love to do the most, which is to compete in high-level competitive gymnastics. So thank you for that, teams, and wherever you train, for the gyms that are open their doors to you guys. All right, Robert Davis, he is my brother, my digital brain of the operation behind the Virtual Stars Gymnastics. He created the website. He manages the website. He made the website into what it is today, I should say. The creation of the website was by Josh Levin, and also by help by our own Tyler Green today here. There's all kinds of history mixing today together. I love that. We have the judges today, esteemed judges, Mike Cook coming from Hillsboro, Oregon. We have Peter Wigging from Chandler, Arizona. And we have Mike Bray from Monument, Colorado. Is that true? Am I saying that correct? He's in Colorado. I'm going to go with that. In Colorado. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. I appreciate it. So judges, please go on ahead and get yourself out of here in Zoom. Turn off your cameras if you would mind, and then go into Discord, into the meet management system, where you can carry on the business of running the meet. And that way you'll go out of here so we can talk behind you backs without you having to hear me. All right. And I would like to now, last but not least, introduce my co-commentator all the way from Amsterdam, Mr. James Martin. James, thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me, Bruce. It's a pleasure to be back. It's a little longer than I hoped for, but here we are again.
Yeah, no kidding. It was a while. We're happy to have you back. You know, I'll have you anytime. So if you can fit it in your schedule, man, that's awesome. Welcome. And we're happy and lucky to have you here with us. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple things here on the screen to make sure that we're all in the right spot. We're getting ready for the competition running, where the judges are taking care of business on their end. I can hear them faintly in my ears, which is great. Let's go ahead and make sure that the stream is still running, so that this is important because the teams need to be able to see each other, right? So this is really the reason why we check on that stream all the time, is because they need to be able to follow up on what the other team is doing, each from their own individual locations. So I'm going to go ahead and start by placing the camera angle on the spotlight, so that there you go. Getting all that ready. The judges are finding out that I will control the camera angle for them. Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing in real time right now how the meet is normally run. Usually we have John Lucas here with us taking care of the video presentation, so I don't have to worry about that. But today, since I'm wearing both hats, John is currently running the video for Region 1 championships, so he's busy with that. If you once we're done with this meet, if you want to go ahead and hop onto the men's college gymnastics channel on YouTube and watch Region 1 gymnastics, that will be up to you. Though I'm not sure if that's a true public link or not. So we're just waiting now, James, for the judges to go ahead and give the coaches the go ahead. They are in charge of the competition. We'll be talking about things, but for the most part, they will be in charge of their own fates and moving on from one thing to another. And we'll see how that goes.
You are unmuted, so they can hear about things.
Let's see if I have to do this.
Yeah, guys, we're ready when you are. Oh, Adam, ready when you are. Adam
Hutchinson from Georgia United on the floor exercise. He's the first athlete up. He's gotten the green light from the judges, and we'll see his routine. James, take it over.
Yeah, we'll start with Adam Hutchinson here. He's a junior out of University of Georgia. This is his first meet since 2018. So big comeback for him. Starts off with a big double back, nice landing there, little chest down. And he is tumbling onto a mat there, which at this point in the season is a deduction. Comes back with a 1.5, little off axis there, but not too bad. Really pretty corner transition there. Nice artistry in this, which is something that you don't always get out of these modern gymnastics, especially floor. But he's got some nice groundwork here going up into a press. And a solid hold there, which is definitely a little bit tougher than most people would expect. It seems like that's the rest part of the routine, but that can be the hardest part, especially mentally. Comes back with a nice back layout, clean, stuck landing. And nice front fold for his second to last pass, and coming up here with his dismount. And finishes up back double full. A little hop in the landing, but a nice clean routine. An excellent start for Adam on his way back into competition here. So that was absolutely nothing to sneeze at. That was a great routine for him. First time in about almost 3 years now. So that's fantastic for Adam. And if you guys notice, he did a really unique entry into that front full for his second to last pass. It's called a Tinsica or a round off half. Very unique, very, very new style. It's a bit of a combination of modern gymnastics and 70s gymnastics. You don't see it very often, but it's a fun skill when people are doing it.
All right, it looks like we are on the running right along here with things. I will go ahead and change the spotlight over to UIC athletes, and looks like Nick Smiley, the first athlete from UIC, competing at City Gymnastics.
Yeah, we got Nick starting off for the Flames here. Former Flames here. Starts with double back, same thing we saw from Adam. A little bit of a hop there, but not too bad. Comes back triple full, and a nice stuck landing there from Nick. Quick transition. We'll see what they do with it.
That was good, man. Yeah,
otherwise, stick. Comes back 2.5 and a little step out of it. He looks a little bit off axis there. So hopefully he can keep things on his feet as he keeps progressing here. Comes back, front layout, and stops. Normally he connects out of that, but he's changed up his routine construction so that he just does the front layout. It's more consistent, cleaner that way. Gymnastics is all about balance here, you know, between putting in as many skills as you can and also trying to hit them as cleanly as possible. Nick's really playing that fine line here. You'll see some nice groundwork from Nick here as well, going up into that V set.
I always appreciate the level of excellence and artistry that Nick puts into his routines. Very elegant athlete. It's definitely, as you say, it straddles well that balance between difficulty and grace.
Absolutely. And finishes up with a nice back double full. No stick on the landing there, so he doesn't get that green flag, but a nice routine nonetheless, and a great start for the Flames.
Yeah, I'm just going to point out real quick here that on Virtual Stars website, we do have the scores being presented in real time. The website is virtualstarsgymnastics.com, and you will see that the team scores are being tallied as we go. And also the judges, immediately as they enter the scores, you will see their scores being entered here. I will also be pulling up on the feed itself, on the video feed, as often as I can. I will be putting out the gallery view showing the current scoreboard of the team runnings, as well as the last athlete who just presented. So moving right along to the GAU team, this is the next athlete from Georgia United, Mr. Kruin Usht. I'm gonna let you try that German pronunciation of the last name there, bud.
Kruin Ushtig. Yeah, he's a freshman out of Georgia Tech. Nice double front to start. Really pulled it around well there. Comes back with round off back handspring to a back layout. Little hop there. Not great for a B skill. You want to be minimizing your deductions on those kind of lower value tumbling skills. And a little short on the press as well. But nothing too bad so far. At least he stayed in it. Nice scale here, artistic flair that most guys don't add. And I keep saying that, but it seems like these Georgia guys are really very artistic in their gymnastics, which is a nice kind of refreshing thing to see, especially with these new teams under new management and kind of getting introduced to the world of collegiate gymnastics. It's great to see them kind of doing something a little different. Those are the front half. And
brand new team full of younger athletes. So these guys are really putting it all there out on the floor and facing the big boys.
Absolutely. Yeah, and a really nice routine there from Kruin. Put it together well, stayed on his feet. A couple of small errors, but overall it was a really nice and solid routine. And I see in the comments here from YouTube, I see Caleb. Hey, Caleb. Congratulations on he qualified yesterday. Well, 2 days ago he qualified to the NCAA finals. Yesterday he competed, did a great job. Former teammate of mine from UIC. So congratulations to him.
All right. We are going to go ahead and pull up the camera here so that the judges can see what they're supposed to be seeing. And moving right along to the next athlete from UIC, this will be Stephen Forbes.
Yeah, Stephen Forbes getting the green flag to go here. Stephen starts it off, round off back handspring, double back, huge double back again. This kid's been crazy explosive with that double back pass this year. Every time it just gets higher and higher. Comes back 1.5 front tuck, little quick out of the landing there, but not too bad. Stays in bounds. Comes back double full. Really clean in the air here. A little hop, but nice in the air, which, believe it or not, people like to really focus on the sticks, but you can lose a lot more in the air on floor than you can on the ground, I think. Comes back with a front full, really nice position there.
Yeah, the judges are definitely looking for those clean positions, whether it's a tuck, a pike, or a layout, nothing in between.
Exactly. You don't want the tyke or the luck layout tuck. Yeah, those are never good for your score in the end.
The old puck flippings.
Puck flipping, not ideal. Steven with a really nice long hold on that press there. And he'll be finishing up here. Round off to a back layout. And a good stick for Steven. You see he gets the green flag from his teammates there, but he will not get one in real life because that's a B dismount.
Yeah, the green flag is always used in multiple ways, right? For the competitions, we do use them to let the athletes know that it's time for them to start. But also as a judging thing is that when they stick a landing that is of difficulty that's high enough, a C or higher value difficulty, they get a stick bonus. They may stick their landing, but they only get the 10th bonus if they actually have a high enough difficulty dismount. And although Charlie was furiously waving his flag there, I think it was more out of happiness than the actual the judging criteria, if you will. Yeah. Moving right along, we're going to go to sorry to cut you off, but I'm just going to make sure that I have my job doing here. To the Georgia United team. Next on up is going to be Jamin Rasmussen.
Jamin here, junior out of Kennesaw State University. Former gym is Tataru's from Tennessee, also where Caleb Booth trained, Asad Juma, a couple other good UIC guys that went there. Starts it off, huge double Arabian, hops out of bounds, but only 1 foot, so it's just a 1/10 deduction. So you go out with 1 foot, it's just 1/10, and both feet is 3/10. Comes back, nice back double full, clean landing. Yeah, that Jim Tataru is known for some really powerful tumbling. We're seeing it on display here from Jamin. Comes back, round off, 1.5 front layout. And you see he's basically just walking into all these passes. He's a really powerful tumbler here, making a lot of stuff happen right through the round off. You can see he's accelerating a ton. Nice stuck back layout there. And pirouette, extra hand placement there. It's a little detail, but that is going to cost him a 10. And these are the little things that you don't always notice, but the judges do.
They make it look clean, but it's still a step of the hand and it's still the deduction.
Exactly. Comes up a little short on the front fold, but stays on his feet really well. Save the landing. And finishes it up back 2.5. Stumbles out of the landing, steps a little bit out of bounds, but that's a big dismount right there. That's the first D dismount we've seen in this competition, and that's the only dismount that gets a full element group. So yeah, even though he had he
stuck that, the actual judge's green flag would have gone up.
Yeah, would have been was it 2/10 stick bonus plus 5/10 for the element group, which is a massive swing in score right there.
Exactly. So we're looking right here on the Virtual Stars website. You see the stick bonus category right here as the judges. You just saw the score pulling up right here, and there the scores deductions that are coming in. The difficulty is basically added right here on the first column, and then the deductions, and then you see any neutral deductions that may have come up. Like for example, he went off the floor, whether he did or not, that's where this was going to show up. And in the stick bonus, if you see the green flag, which is the what shows whether or not he got the bonus, but you will see it represented in here for if he receives the bonus. So let's go ahead and go back to the competition, shall we? Just showing you guys everything happening in real time. This is how it goes.
Yeah,
we are going to go
to
City Gymnastics. Replacing.
Perfect. Yeah, Sam Norwood, senior out of Alabama. He's been kind of off and on. This is his first year actually competing for UIC. He's kind of been in and out of the lineup for a number of injuries and some other stuff. And now he's really become a staple of this floor and high bar lineup for UIC this year. Mm-hmm. Starts it off here, big round off, double Arabian, stays on his feet. That's great for him. That's probably the pass he struggled with the most and a really good start. Comes back, front 1.5, bit far from the corner there, so he does a nice cartwheel to transition. 1.5, front half, nice connection pass. And that's a little bit harder than it looks. All that twisting and putting two skills together in a row is actually much more difficult, but it's a good way to pick up value in a routine when you only have 70 seconds and only 10 skills to do. So it's actually a lot harder to get all those skills in there than you would expect.
Yeah, sometimes you see the guys rushing through and they don't get enough oxygen in their body, and that's where the dismount suffers the most. So it's a delicate balance. You got to figure out how fast can you go and how quickly can you build your stamina to do those big dismounts and have enough power to perform the skill as you would, with a full quality body.
Yeah. Sam finishes up back layout, little hop there. Super embarrassing to not stick a back layout for a dismount. So that's
stick
tough.
it to him, James.
I
know, right? If you got to water down your dismount, you got to put your feet on the ground. But come on,
you got to stick it. Yeah, and actually, we talked about a little bit that stick not coming in for a B dismount, and I think that you can blame that on Charlie Nelson and Justin Spring from about 2 years ago when all of us were doing B dismounts on floor. Everyone did a back full or a back layout. And quickly the NCAA made a rule change so you don't get bonus for that anymore.
That's right.
But I did it. I loved it. Got a lot of stick bonus for 1 year, and then they took it away right away.
Yeah, you got to play the rules to your advantage, and that happens up just about every year, for sure. Every quadrennium, where the changes of the FIG book of the code of points, the international standard for all of gymnastics. And when we talk about the values of these skills, we're talking about the fact that each skill, every skill in gymnastics is rated from A through now H, right? A being 1/10 of a point, B 2/10, so on and so forth. So the harder the skill, the more points you get towards your start value, right? And in difficulty. And if the skills are of high enough difficulty, you get the full dismount bonus, like we were talking about. So every single skill in gymnastics is rated. If it's not in the book, you don't get the skill value for it. So it won't count towards your 10 skills like we were talking about earlier. So that's a little bit about the judging strategies. And, and then, you play it to your advantages. You water down your dismount if you have to. And then we go on, and hope that you stick it so that you get the least amount of the deductions possible, right? So, But moving right along, let's go back to the competition now that we can. This is Georgia United, Mr. Hunter Clulo.
We got Hunter Clulo here starting off on floor. Hunter is a freshman out of West Georgia Technical University from Newman Gymnastics Center originally. Starts it off here. Massive double front. Big double front. He had
That's
a lot
a
of
D value skill, as we were talking about the difficulty. That's a hard skill to do.
That is a real tough skill to do. And he comes back double full. Little step out of it there.
Talking about the judging that's going on, I'll just quickly mention that on floor exercise, we have Mike Cook as the execution judge. So he gets to take all of the deductions on this in the floor exercise for both teams. And then we have Mike Bray from Colorado. He's doing the difficulty. So every skill, he has to remember, know, and write down the value of each skill. For example, the Japanese press, is it a B? Is it a C? He should know. And then he's going to be doing all that for the Georgia United team. And then Peter Wiggin is going to be doing the difficulty for the UIC team. So we're flopping back and forth the difficulty judges, but the execution judge is the same for both teams.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep it fair. As long as the execution's the same, the difficulty is pretty easy to see. And finishes up here with a nice front full. And that was he's still going.
Short. He's still going. Although if he would have stuck that, he would not get the stick bonus because a stuck full is only a B.
See. And he finished up with front double full. And that is probably the best D dismount we've seen so far. That was fantastic.
A beautiful routine by Mr. Hunter Clulo from Georgia United.
Yeah, that was a big, powerful routine there from Hunter. That was a really fantastic. He had a little bit of awkwardness on a few of the landings, but I mean, that's, freshman working out the kinks, and he definitely has a long way to go with that floor routine. He has a big ceiling, I can clearly tell, because he has a lot of power in those legs.
Yeah, you just got to learn how to hone that power, right? And control it. Don't get too excited. Don't let the adrenaline get the best of you. It's a tough thing to do. It's the kind of thing that you only learn to compete by competing. And this is a young team. These guys are getting started here this year. They're gonna learn the ropes. They're gonna learn the rhythm of the high quality college competitions, and it's all about the team, right? So we do whatever necessary to make sure that your brothers are supported, and you will feel that support just back at you.
Exactly. And here we have someone who probably went through the same learning curve. I'd say Sam Montague, super, super powerful, came into UIC as probably the most powerful tumbler I've ever seen. But he did have a tendency to hop out of bounds here and there. But since then, he's cleaned up his tumbling tremendously. And he is, he was one of the best floor guys I've seen. He's got more in the tank than he's going to show you today, but he's super powerful, super clean over the last few years.
James, what was your strategy in competition? Did you throw out your harder skills, or did you hold back and make sure that you had the super consistent?
I was all about the consistency. I came in with big routines, trying to do everything I could, and it wasn't super effective for me.
Oh, here's Sam not holding back, man.
Not holding back at all. Yeah, our big Arabian double front started off with double full to half. That's the first time I've seen a pass for connection bonus. Comes here with front full to front tuck. He looks a little bit off after that double Arabian. He landed a little short there. And then we come back, double full. I think he'll be doing a D dismount as well with this construction.
No spoilers.
And here's a fun pass. Comes with back full, front tuck. Normally he goes to his stomach there.
Working out.
And then he hops down.
Yeah, one of the things that I don't like about this year's rulings is that you don't get connection bonus for the back and forth connections, right? Even though he's doing 2 skills in a row, those are completely separate, and you don't get to connect them for the bonus points. If those are difficult enough, you still wouldn't get the bonus.
Yeah. And finishes up back layout, little hop there.
Oh, send him to Siberia with that hop on the layout. What is going on? UIC today showing struggles on their landings on a dismount. I'm sure Charlie is going to have a chat with these guys afterward. He's writing down right there. Send him to Siberia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough land. It's tough there. He was running out of time, so you got to get going, and then sometimes it's hard to hone in on that stick when you're up against the bell. So it's definitely it's a mental game to try to just go back to your training and think about how, this is a back layout. You probably stuck 1,000 of them in the last year at least. But when you're trying to make sure that you're not going to get hit with a 3/10 deduction for going over the time limit, and you want to take a 1/10 off, it winds up being worth it, but it looks kind of rough. And it certainly is.
I don't know.
Yeah, indeed.
And I think we're only getting 4 routines here from each team. Is that right, Breeze?
Yeah, we are competing today with a 5-up 4 count strategy, and for this competition, to keep things fair between these 2 teams. They're late in the season. They want to make sure that they get their best guys up and save the grunt work for nationals. So they can compete as few as 4 per event, and make sure that all those scores are counting towards their team score, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and show the current standings right here on the Virtual Stars Gymnastics website. If you scroll down below the video that you've been watching, the team scores currently after 1 event. We have Georgia United with 44.8 and Gymnastics at UIC at 48.8. A 4-point difference now lead from UIC early in the competition. Floor exercise is one of those events where experience definitely counts, and you get the difficulty with the clean routines. Checking out the scores right here. We usually say that if your scores deductions are less than 2 points, you're doing pretty good, especially on floor exercise. And you see here where some of these guys are following suit on keeping the routine as clean as possible, and in some cases getting some of those adjustments and basically going off the floor, you start losing more and more points there. So you got to make sure they keep your routines clean and take the least amount out of these start values as you can. So that's the name of the game. Looks like UIC so far following suit with the strategies of keeping things as consistent as you said. James, you competed with that strategy, and looks like these guys are doing the same thing today. So looking good. There's still a lot of gymnastics to go. 5 more events. We are ready to start pretty soon here. We're gonna let these guys get their 2-minute 1 touch, and you'll see that the guys from Georgia had to do a little setup in their gym, so they're still getting their warm up. They do legally get 2 minutes, which so they deserve it and they get it. And I'm going to ask if I can get the reminder, and let me go both on Discord and here. Just a quick reminder, please mute your cameras in Zoom if you're not performing competition, please. That way we'll keep the feed clean for the audience members. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, so as I said before, I was talking about the 2-minute one touch. These guys get a little bit of a warm up between each event legally, of course, and we give it to them because not only is it a kind thing to do and on the rules, it's also for their safety. So we want to make sure that these guys get what they need to be ready for their competition. Now, because we are, virtual and things can be done slightly differently, we do allow the teams we allow the teams to bump rotate, if you will, and start warming up early if they want to. And you saw that the guys from UIC had done that. So moving on to pommel horse, we have the judges on pommel horse today are going to be, once again, for execution, we're going to have Mike Cook doing both teams. And then for the UIC team, we're going to have Mike O'Bray as the difficulty judge, and Peter Wiggin will be doing the difficulty for Georgia United. So we're going to go check out pommel horse and see what these guys got to bring us. First and foremost, from Georgia United, we have Jamin Rasmussen. If I don't know how to say it right, I just yell and create a whole new accent and pretend I know what I'm talking about.
It sounds like something.
Yeah, it must be right if you said it like that. It's Rasmussen.
Right, we're on it.
Confidence in everything.
Come on, Jamin.
All right, here goes Jamin.
Oh, come on.
Jamin in that leadoff spot on pommels. It's a difficult spot mentally, but really important for the team. If you can perform in the leadoff spot on horse, you are invaluable for the team. Start scissor full down, scissor hop back up. That's a nice little combo there to start things off. A travel down. He's getting a little piking on those circles, but he stays.
Come on, finish it.
Scissor end to end. And swings up the handstand nice and clean. That was a really good way to start off for Georgia United.
Get on, get off, hit routine. 1 for 1, absolutely. Georgia United on pommel horse.
1 for 1, you cannot beat that. It's, it is invaluable to get up there and hit a routine. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you can hit on pommel horse and you have no problem in that leadoff spot, you are someone that any coach would want on their team.
Yeah, indeed.
And Jamin just showed that for us today.
Yeah, you start noticing some of the strategies that the coaches employ in competitions, and it becomes a fairly good pattern from one. If I go to the right team, that'll be a better idea. Let's go ahead and replace them to the next one. So a pattern where you get these guys who are consistent going first. You get the guys who are good solid routines in the middle, and you get usually like your superstars will go towards the end, so that you get those scores going up higher and higher. You get the momentum going up higher and higher, the emotions, right? Everything about it. It's a mental game for gymnastics, just as it is for me. So you see here, starting on pommel horse, Billy Hollis for UIC.
Billy Hollis starting off the simple sequence there with the scissors. A travel down, rough end to end. Nice travel for Billy there. Really well executed too. Hops on the one-hander for the Bailey.
A little wobble, he pulls it together.
There you go. Into the more there and stock to the hand. Really nice way to start off.
You see the enthusiasm from his teammates, rightfully so. That is Billy Hollis from UIC. Beautifully done. Thank you for muting there at the end, Charlie. Appreciate it. And that was a great routine. Once again, not a watered down set by any means, was it?
No, not at all. I think for Billy, that was a good solid routine. I know he's got a couple more skills he's been working on and off, but in that leadoff position, you don't really want to leave anything up to chance. And that was a really great way to start off for UIC.
Yeah, he's fulfilling all the requirements of the pommel horse routine. There are 4 major requirements that you go through. You got your pendular swings, you got your circling elements, you got your travel elements. You saw him do the Roth. That is a D value skill, a hard skill to perform. Pulled it off beautifully. He also did, and then of course the dismount, which is a requirement. So you have to have one. You got to get off the thing, not only just jump off, but it's got to be an actual skill that's of value. So here goes for Georgia United, Mr. Hunter Clulo. On pommel horse.
Come on, Hunter! Go, Hunter! Come! Come on, let's swing.
Yeah, Hunter here starting on the end. It's a fun place to start. Usually you see some unique stuff when you're coming in from the end. Starts off in side circle and tong fei immediately end to end there. Really nice circle out of it. That's a hard skill to circle out of. Anyone can do a tong fei, but coming out of it is that's what really separates the good from
Come on, keep going.
great.
Nice.
And nice keer down. Very well extended circle and a little tick up on the dismount there. And a little bit of a tick. He comes back 720 there. So a really great way to save that dismount for Hunter. And especially in that number 2 spot, you had the momentum there from Jamin, and he kept it going really well. So I think pommel horse, more than any other event, is really about keeping the momentum going and keeping your team up and motivated the whole time. Because once you get in a rut on pommel horse, it can really destroy the atmosphere of a team and really set you back for the whole meet. Pommel horse, probably the most mentally taxing event up there with high bar. High bar can be
high bar is so much more fun to do, though.
High bar is much more fun, at least. So it has that going for it. Pommel horse is neither fun nor good for the mentality of the team.
Yeah, and tough on the body too. I mean, there's not a single athlete out there who doesn't have, you know, some sort of issue on their wrists or shoulders from pommel horse.
Exactly. You see Eric Barnes here coming up with the big wrist supports on. This guy is a horse guy through and through. Pommel horse and P-bars specialist. But we might get to see him on vault potentially. He's on his hands a ton. Eric's starting off with a nice little scissor. They travel down. And we're going to see him nice. Rock would be back up. More. Keeping a good extension on the circle. Comes into the big struggle on there. And Eric does it well. Pull down to the end. Little spindle back. Setting up for his dismount. Russian, and off. The double Russian dismount. And another great hit for Eric. Eric had, when he first started at UIC, he struggled to hit that routine consistently, but he has been on fire this year. Just absolute hit machine for UIC. He's really gotten into his own with hitting those routines on pommel horse, especially.
Yeah, certainly showing a great routine there. And you saw, and the sad thing about a great pommel horse swinger is that every little deviation of perfection shows like it's a huge deal, right? And it's almost like, oh, the judges are going to crucify him for that, Kathy. But no, really what it is that he's showing so much grace and poise and accuracy in his movement that when he does deviate from that perfect position, you notice it a lot more versus the guys who are kind of scrunched up and bending their knees on every single circle. You think that that's consistent and he's going through the routine and it's a hit, but he's losing a lot more points, you know, because he's actually bending and piking and not extending like he's supposed to the whole time. So, you know, you saw there, Eric, a couple times where he separates his legs to kind of get a little check to keep himself in balance. Yeah. But other than that, a beautifully presented routine.
Let's go.
Adam started off here with a nice big scissor sequence. You see a lot of these guys with big scissor sequences. There's a lot of value in those, but they can also be a lot of deduction. They're doing them pretty well.
Let's go. Come on.
Comes back with a curl there and gets stuck on the Savato. That's a tough one, especially later in the routine there. He stepped up and then his shoulders fell back forward. So it's important there to keep the momentum moving backwards. But again, if you lean too far backwards, it's the exact opposite thing happens, which can be just as bad.
Yeah, the gymnast has 30 seconds to remount the pommel horse. Talk to his coach a little bit. Make sure that he got credit for the last score. Less skill. Repeat it. Don't repeat it. Go on. What's he going to do?
And it looks like he's going to skip the rest of the Savato. With the new set of rules, he won't be getting any credit for that travel. And finishes up there with a nice circle to handstand and 360 dismount. So it's a good recovery from Adam. Way to finish up there well at the end, even after a tough fall. It's always tough when you have a break on pommel horse to get back up there and not be discouraged.
And that split second decision to go back and do that skill again or not, you know, do I risk falling a second time? Do I make myself more tired for the dismount? You know, it's certainly something that every athlete and every instance is different, right? Today that might be a good choice. Tomorrow he should have done the Savato again, right? And get credit for that D skill.
Yeah, it's a big value skill, but if he got up there and missed it again, I'm sure he'd be kicking himself way harder rather than if he skips it. So it's always tough, and it's a hard thing as a coach and as a gymnast to try to put together, okay, what's the best thing to do? Adam's doing all around today, so I think it's a good thing. Fresh, try not to repeat skills, and keep yourself out of your own head. We got Tim Staruk coming up here. Starts off with a nice little scissor sequence, picks up into his circles. Tim's a tall guy, so he's got that Lewis Smith type circle here, kind of slow, a little bit different than what we've seen from some of these guys who move faster and are more open. Big flared nine yard there. That's an E value skill. Huge skill for pommel horse. And he's flaring again up into his dismount. Little break on the speed there, but not too bad. And a good way to finish up there for Tim. And that's 3 for 3 from UIC so far, which is really great. Especially on pommel horse. They're looking real good today. We have one more routine from Georgia United and 2 more from UIC. We'll get to see James Strevey, and then Colin Schwartz is the anchor for UIC.
UIC following the old adage of first rule of pommel horse, don't fall off.
Exactly. That is really the only rule I could tell you about pommel horse. I'm not a horse guy, but I can tell you should not fall off.
We're going to go ahead and replace the view here. Make sure that the judges are seeing what they're supposed to be seeing. And next up on pommel horse from GAU will be Mr. Kruen. Yeah, that's awful. I need to learn a little German.
Kruen starting off.
I'm going to go with Uch.
Maybe Uch. Yeah.
Hey, are you picking up any Hollandaise while you're in Amsterdam?
Dutch. Hollandaise is a sauce. Dutch would be the language here. Both great things, but no, I'm working on it. I do coach a boys team, so I have to talk to them in Dutch. So that makes it real interesting.
At least learning the pronunciation of the gymnastics elements and
all the gymnastics words.
Come on.
Kruen's starting it off here.
Shout out to my good friend, Mr. Eric from Redwood Empire, the first Dutch man I ever met in person.
Come on.
And I was like, wow, really? You speak English so well.
Yeah, they all really do. Kruen starts off with a nice scissor sequence and then we travel down. Softly up to the handstand.
Short and simple. Get it done.
Yeah, short and simple. Don't give the judges anything to deduct from. If the fewer skills you do, the less they have to take off from. I noticed in the comments someone was pointing out judges are hammering the execution today, and as they should be. That's how judging is written. That's how it's meant to be. And when people say judges are hammering execution, that means they're just judging to code. And I think that as far as things go, that's really the way that judging should be done consistently.
And you want to make sure that these guys are getting the fair share. And as long as at the end of the day, the first place winner is the first place winner, we don't care if they're in the low teens or if they, scoring 18s and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. If everyone gets 1/10 off for what should be 5/10 deductions, or if everyone's getting 5 for 5, and then, at the end of the day, the winner is still the winner.
Yeah. And let's check out the scores. We just finished 2 events. We're going to stick with 4 guys up, 4 counts.
We got 2 more guys.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lordy Lord. Why don't I go back to where I'm supposed to be then?
Yeah, we got UIC here, James Strevey for our next set.
Speaker view. UIC. I jumped the gun. Hey everybody, this is what I do.
That's okay. And if you guys are seeing
guys from UIC.
Kruen's score coming in surprisingly low. He didn't have enough skills there, so he incurred a 4-point neutral deduction, which is really
short and sweet, but not too short.
Yeah, that's the balance. You got to make sure that you have at least 7 skills. Strevey starting off here a bit okay, and he circled out of it, which is good. So he should be receiving credit for that. The rule is you need to complete 1 full circle after the end of the skill, and James definitely did that, but then hopped off afterwards. Let's see where he picks up. Looks like we'll be jumping into a back loop here. And stepping back into that Savata that we talked about earlier. Really well performed there. Comes in for his scissor sequence. A little bit low on his scissors.
Yeah, good movement of the legs, but his hips aren't moving very much in those scissors. The judge is definitely watching for that hip rise as well as the legs.
Comes back with the curl.
So close.
And again, same thing happened. He circled out of it, but then came off on the next circle after that.
Yeah, those travel skills to the end, you're getting ready for your dismount and you're starting to maybe relax your body a little bit because you're almost done. And if you don't keep your shoulders in check and right on top of the horse, you just keep traveling. Right?
You just keep moving. And there's no more horse there. It's not very forgiving. And you've seen guys backflip off, and he fortunately didn't do that.
Nice.
Comes off nonetheless.
That's the way you're supposed to be doing your Russian dismounts, by the way. Having those feet rise and hip rise above your shoulders, that's the requirement for Russians. So if you just do the Russians and just scoop over the horse, that's not a true value of the dismount.
Not a real Russian
dismount. Be deducted for sure.
Yeah, you technically need to get your feet up to 45 degrees, which is just about impossible to do. It is real tough. If you're good at pommel horse, you know, I've seen guys do it really nice. Former teammate of mine, John Lang from Ohio State, he used to pop all the way up there, but he was a real good horse guy. So it's tough to do. And
you definitely notice it when it's performed the way it's supposed to. It throws you off. It's like, wow, that's amazing. What amplitude? But he's just fulfilling the requirement.
Yeah.
And I would say that in this case, James is actually even a little lower than the 45-degree mark for no deduction at all. He might have gotten 1/10 off.
And we still thought it was good.
Yeah, it was impressive because it was above and beyond the norm, but not where the written requirements of the skill is supposed to be.
Exactly. We got our last routine here from Colin Shorts. Colin is he's been a staple of the UIC horse lineup. He's been really fantastic for UIC in the last 4 years. He's battled a lot of wrist injuries. He came in with a broken thumb as a freshman. And came back from that, but he's been able to really shine on pommel horse especially. You'll see him probably again on P-bars later and maybe on vault. I don't know what their lineup is today on that, but he does do a few other events. But pommel horse is really his specialty. Starts off super full from the end up to the middle. And you saw his feet got nice and high up there, which is really how you want to be doing that. Comes in with the more A-travel.
A nice
and
travel
really
behind
nice
the back. I like that.
There. Travel behind the back for a D. Really.
Is it really called Yamawaki? Yamawaki has a skill in every event.
He sure does. Yeah. No, he has a skill everywhere, I think. But he comes off on the Savato there. You saw he did a different variant of the Magyar there. It's a 1-2-4-5 Magyar, which means you go from the end, handle, and end again for a C value. So it's less difficulty than if you were to touch in the middle or if you were to go end to end. But it is a bit easier, which is I think why he opted for it.
Yeah, that's how judging is so incredibly difficult because they are every little variation of the skill is a different value or a different name, and you got to be hip to all of them because sometimes you can do two skills that are very similar, but they're different skills. So it looks like he repeated it, but he really did two different things.
Exactly. He comes back.
Oh, here comes the Russian.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Russian dismount and a little low there, but not a bad dismount at all for Colin.
Good way to finish up. Breaking that streak of hit after hit. UIC, unfortunately, with a fall there at the end. But this is gymnastics, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you can never count your ducks until you're done with everything. I'm going to start mixing metaphors all over the place. It's going to be awesome. As the teams start to move on to the next event, I know that GAU is already set and they already did their warm up because they finished with only was it 1, 2, 3 guys, 4 guys on pommel horse, where UIC put out all 5. So looks like the scores are in. I'm going to flip through the scores real quick here on Virtual Stars Gymnastics just to show pommel horse. We had lots of good high level start values, not as great on pommel horse as it was on floor with the deductions. These guys are losing a lot of points there. Again, looking at the judges at Creamium, no, they're actually taking the deductions as they're supposed to. And looking at the total scores after 2 events, getting a little bit farther ahead here. So Georgia United with 80.9 and UIC with an 89.9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. I'm Breeze Olson. With me is James Martin, all the way from Amsterdam, and I'm here in Santa Cruz. And we are, the judges are still talking about the other event there. So let's go ahead and keep it on the gallery view. Now, James, how do you feel so far about today's competition?
Yeah, it looks good so far. I'm really impressed with this Georgia United team. For their first year of competition, they're looking like they really put things together super well. And I mean, I don't want to say that I had low expectations for the team, but it's tough to put together a team out of basically nothing from what they started with. But it's really fantastic to see how well they're doing, and they really kind of outshone the expectations that I had for them. And they look really great. So let's hope they can keep it going for the next 4 rotations and see just how well they do. UIC looking pretty good. Started off with a solid floor rotation and not a shabby pommel horse rotation at all, but again, a bit of a tough finish there with the last 2 routines. Fortunately, they do get to drop at least one of those scores, which is helpful. But at the same time, it would have been nice to see a little bit more, few more hits out of them, especially this late in the season as they're getting ready to put together nationals lineup. You really want to look for consistency in hitting there.
That's right. That's right. So it looks like the judges had a couple of quick scores to adjust from the pommel horse, and let's see if it changed the. Let's go ahead and I'll change the camera in just a second here for the judges to be able to see. But let's go ahead and bring up the. Wait a minute. Let me focus for just a second. If I don't talk about both of these guys, place for the UIC GAU. All right, so we're just getting things ready here for Georgia on their ring sets. Looks like they're adjusting their cameras a little bit. The judges are ready. All right. Anyways, what I was going to say is that a couple of small changes in the scores for Georgia United. So their team scores have gone up a little bit. They're at 81.4 after 2 events.
Yeah, and really not a widespread in the scores here at all. It's still anyone's ballgame at this point. 4 rotations left to go. There's a lot of gymnastics left to be done.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And some strong events for both teams coming up. Here
Definitely.
it is on rings. We have Mr. Hunter Clulo from Georgia United.
Hunter starts it off here. Back up rise to cross. Comes in a little bit high, but then nice pull out here.
That's hard to do.
The L set. That is tough. That is a real good show of strength there. Comes back with a back up rise planche. You see his arms are a little bit bent, but not too bad either. Shoots out into a shoot hand, overshoots it a little bit. You see his arms are touching the straps there, which is a deduction. But finishes up with double back and keeps it on his feet. So good routine for Hunter. A lot of strength in that routine. Very powerful. Needs a little bit more work on that strength and on the swing, and the handstand. But definitely a really strong start for Georgia.
Yeah, no pun intended. That was a strong routine for Mr. Hunter Clulo on the steel rings for Georgia United. And
back over to UIC.
Yep, getting the cameras ready here for everybody. If I go to the actual UIC gym, though, see, this is the kind of stuff that we do in the background that you guys never notice it, but now you get to see me fumble with my buttons. This will be Billy Hollis starting once again. The Iceman from UIC going stone cold, solid routines at the beginning of each event so far for Billy. Let's see if he keeps that streak going.
Billy, we saw him start off on horse. We'll also start off on rings here. Super consistent guy. Really strong stuff from Billy.
So just James, a reminder to you is that because they have such loud and energetic team behind them, we have to speak a little bit more clearly when the UIC guys go.
Will do.
Or not at all. Let the gymnastics speak for itself and let the teams be excited.
Okay. Seems like they've quieted down a little bit there as they're getting ready for Billy to get up. You see Satchel Hudson lifting him up. Satchel, former USC teammate of mine and a big rings guy for sure. He was super strong and really good competitor on rings for UIC and then eventually for Illinois Champaign after he transferred once our team was cut from the athletic department. You see Hunter Clulo's score coming in pretty low again. He also had a short routine and got that 4-point neutral deduction, which is tough. So I always like to say it's short and sweet, but I guess that advice is kind of biting Georgia in the butt here because they may have shortened up a little bit too much. And Billy looks like he's getting shaken out and ready to go. Once he gets the green flag from Charlie.
Yeah, we got a couple of glitches going on the judges' side of things in the communication system that we use. They're just making sure that they can hear each other. We'll be going here with Billy in just a moment.
Yeah. And I think this is a pretty normal occurrence. I mean, even an in-person live meet, it's always tough to have every judge on the same page, keeping everything together. It makes it really difficult. You want to put these weights no matter where you are. I think the online has even really sped up meets a good bit with the head-to-head format. Billy finally up and ready to go here. Starts with a backup rise to straddle planche. Nice lock out there. Good long hold. rolls forward into his Yamawaki sequence, pike, and then tucked. Really good swing out of Billy there. Those are tough to keep the momentum through and to not kind of catch yourself on the second one. But Billy moved quickly through them. A really nice, smooth swing. Comes back with a giant. That's a requirement there. Any swing to handstand. Catches it really well and finishes double back tuck and a good tuck landing for Billy. Really nice way to finish up for Billy there. And you see the excitement out of him. That's a guy who's really consistent. That's a routine that's not super watered down, but not super hard either. And a really good hit for Billy. Super clean across the board. Good difficulty, but nothing crazy. And again, just like his pommel horse routine, a good way to get the guys started on this event. And we'll see what his score comes in, but it should be looking pretty good for Billy there. Our next routine over in Georgia will be Adam Hutchinson.
And the judges continue to do their beautiful job there, entering the scores using the Virtual Stars Gymnastics platform, the beautiful thing that Robert has created for us all, and making sure that the judges can see the routine here in Zoom. They can enter their scores in the platform that Robert created, and it all shows together in one website. It's an amazing thing. I've seen how many screens he's got in front of him when he's coding, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really quite the system to get everything working here. We got Adam Hutchinson here, starting off.
It's all about the gymnastics. Adam, let's go.
All is. Starts off here with another one of these back upright skills, the straddle planche. That'll be gone after this summer. Attempts to shoot to handstand, turns it into a felge type skill, and tries again with the shoot hand. Comes up a little short. You see his arms are bent there and he's on the straps, but he got up eventually. Did the back up rise and rolled right through it. Not really sure what he meant to do there exactly. Comes back with his Yamawaki, nice tuck yam, and goes back up rise to straddle L. Sorry, just a regular L, and dismounts with the front half. So a little bit of a break there when he overshot that handstand, and he had to fight for the second one, but a good way to keep your composure there for Adam and to wind up with a suitable routine in the end. And that's something that takes a good bit of experience and is really tough to do on the fly. So good on him for just staying on the rings and not panicking while he was up there.
That's right. That shows a little bit great use of gymnastics know-how to keep your composure during the routine when it's not going so well.
Exactly.
And that to UIC. Go ahead.
That's harder than it looks. I mean, these guys, you do a routine, you plan to do it a certain way, and you've drilled that routine that way. When things go wrong, it's going to get in your head. Here we got Nick Smiley for UIC coming up against a very unique routine here from Nick. We talked about it on floor. He's got a lot of artistry, a lot of style in these routines, and you'll definitely see it here for Nick. Starts off with a Minikali. It's a slow roll in locate, tough on the shoulders. Front up rise to V-set. And that's probably the only one you're going to see of that all year. That is a really fantastic skill that Nick plays well. Comes back in the Yamawaki sequence, tuck, then pike. Different way to do it. And goes into a nice solid L-sit.
More often than not, you see the pike going in first, but what you got to do. Sometimes it has to do with how much swing you build. You try that sequence a few times, and you do one after the other, and you find out that you're picking up a whole lot of swing. And coach probably said, "Hey, try it the other way around. Maybe we'll stop in the middle." And look at him, dead stop in the center of the ring.
Exactly. Nick with a shoot to hand. See, fights it a little bit there, but he holds it well and double back. A little hop there. Good way to finish up there for Nick. So his only real break in that routine was the shoot to hand where he kind of leaned on the straps, bent the arms a little bit. But other than that, it was really good.
Indeed. UIC bringing together some good sets here on rings today. Well done. In fact, both teams, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Some good high quality start values, difficulties there. The deductions are pretty even amongst both teams so far. So it's looking good. These guys are putting it out there. Getting ready for nationals, which is right around the corner from us, just a few weeks from now.
Yeah, sure is. And that's really what this, the whole season, you get to compete and have good meets against one another, but really it all boils down to the last meet of the year. That's where you really get to see who's the best of the best, level playing field, everyone against each other, one day to show it all. And that's what they're getting ready for.
And these guys get
Jamin,
the luxury of competing in their home gym, which is nice to do here with the virtual gymnastics platforms.
Come on,
But
Jamin.
you know, once they go into real in person at the gym, you know,
Come on.
how prepared will they be? That's my question for this year, because these guys, a lot of these guys, most of the teams, in fact, are
Come on.
the 11 teams for GymACT, that some of them have never competed against another team outside of their own gym space. You know, because of the COVID restrictions for travel and
Come on, push.
all that. So we'll see how this year's nationals pan out.
Yeah, we get Jamin on the rings here. He started with a front uprise to L, a little bit awkward, and then a back uprise to L done well. Press the handstand here, and he finishes with a back pull. So he skipped his requirement of a shoot to handstand or a swing to handstand, but otherwise a really complete and full routine, done very well. Not really sure what happened on the front uprise to L there. That looked a little bit awkward. We'll see what the judges do with that, because the rules on those have gotten tighter and tighter over the last couple of years on whether or not to give credit even. So that's a tough call that the judges have to make, specifically the D judge for that.
Well, James, so you're a certified judge here in our country. What would you have given that? To put yourself in a spot there for a second.
Oh, I wouldn't have given it credit. I probably would have taken about 2 points on it. I'm not the nicest judge when it comes to those sorts of things. But he didn't get his
not
feet
about
up.
being nice. It's about giving what it's earned, right?
Yeah. What it was though, it wasn't a front uprise to L. It was a front uprise and then a dip and then an L sit.
Two different skills.
Yeah. Really, not really a front uprise as it's written in the book. So you can't really give credit for
flag there, Charlie, when he raises his arm to the athlete, and you can see the flag that actually adds a little graphic to the.
It's a little fun. Yeah, I like it. Charlie. Here's a little character. Reminds you of the days when you actually had
from UIC.
Exactly. Yeah. Tim's been a good multi-event guy for UIC. Starts off with a back lever, kind of a unique skill to see in college, but a good strength part to add in there.
You got to get those 7 parts.
It's all about 7 parts here at a bare minimum. Back uprise to L, performed cleanly, and comes back with a straddle plank. Really well done there for Tim. That's tough on your college years. And back half to finish it up. Little step on the landing there, and he also missed the swing to handstand element, and I believe also the swing to strength element. So it's not going to be a super high score for him, but definitely not a bad score either for Tim, because he did stay clean throughout that whole thing.
Would you go ahead and state the 4 element groups that we require on rings?
Yes. So rings, we have element group 1, strength, just simple strength parts. Element group 2 is swing. And then element group 3 is swing to strength. So your strength elements are like your simple cross, L sit, press to handstand, planche. Swinging would include those Yamawakis, inlocates and dislocates. Then you have your swing to strength, back uprise cross, whip it cross, uprise planche, uprise Maltese. Then your dismounts would be your 4th one. And rings is unique in that it has a special requirement, which is a 3/10 neutral reduction if you don't swing to a handstand.
Similar to if you don't have a double back on floor.
Exactly. If you don't have multiple flip on floor, you also get dinged 3/10.
Yeah. Oh, hey, this is
Kruin
Ush
from
GAU.
Yeah, started off there. Same as Nick, actually. Goes to the Minikali and really nice front uprise L. That's how it should be done there. Smooth and clean. And this is a really similar routine to Nick's, actually. Comes back with the back uprise to L too. And finishes front full, mild dismount. Love that. C dismount, easiest way to get to it, and a big step out of it, but not bad at all. That's really the downside of that dismount, is it's tough to see the landing.
You competed this dismount. I tried it a couple of times, I almost died. So did you ever not get nervous about landing on your feet? Because that looks like something that you just kind of get lucky or you don't. Is it an actual technique to landing that thing?
The technique is to swing through the bottom, pull with one arm and not the other, and then all of a sudden you stick. And that's the only way I ever learned how to do it.
It's basically like someone just shot you out of a dryer. Is that what it is?
Basically, yeah. I couldn't do a front half. I couldn't do a 1.5. Couldn't do a double full, but I could do a front full, and I stuck it about 90% of the time. So it's all about just honing in that one technique. I wasn't going anywhere on rings. I knew that, so I just stuck with what I could do. Here's someone who is going places on rings. This is Kelvin Stevens. This guy's got big strength. He started out as a high school gymnast. And you guys know most of these gymnasts start when they're 5, 6, maybe 7 years old at the latest. This guy started when he was a freshman in high school. And just look at how powerful he's gotten over the years, and clean too. He's going to start off here with a huge sequence, goes back up rise to straight body planche. Only person in the competition doing that, and the first one to do a Maltese.
You see the difference between a planche and a Maltese. That's the difference.
That is the difference right there. And he elevated through them really nicely. He went all the way up, all the way down, and back up into that back up rise Maltese.
And that's really the swing to strength right there. He went, the first Maltese is a regular strength move. The second one is a swing to strength.
Exactly. A nice back up rise to handstand for Kelvin. That's a key part that he's been working in. And throws it across. Doesn't even need value. He just looks good doing it. He just loves to show off his strength. This guy is strong beyond belief. Back up rise to L, and really nice L sit there from Kelvin. Again, he's a lot working there. Those are the A press, the handstand, bent arm, bent body, and finishes up here, dismount, double tuck with full, and a really good routine from Kelvin there. That's a big set from him. You guys should expect a big score out of that. Really clean overall.
High difficulty level on a lot of those skills, and really pushing himself and actually performing them very cleanly today. So well done.
Yeah, Kelvin, when he first got to UIC, he had a lot of the difficulty already. Not quite that much, but he had a good bit of difficulty and a lot of strength. And the thing that he lacked was those handstands and the cleanliness of that you need for college gymnastics. But quickly, he really worked hard and got that. He suffered a pretty bad bicep injury his freshman year with a tear. And managed to come back from it faster than anyone really expected. So this kid's been up against it and really has done a fantastic job to get to where he is on rings.
Yeah, we're going to have one more athlete here for UIC. Mr. Sam Montague will be performing, will be the fifth man up to try to get those 5 up 4 count scores. So the UIC will get the luxury of dropping the lowest score. Looks like Sam might not be quite ready yet, but
yeah, he's preparing here. We'll see another big routine from Sam. Probably no Sam.
We're getting the
skipping Sam.
Moving on. Will be a
Charlie Nelson here
on rings.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that you can do when you have those blank up, blank count kind of things. Is once you're happy with what the team has done, you can always just move on. Sometimes that's a strategy. You put your all-arounder in the last position. And if they're not feeling great, or if you're happy with the routines that you've seen so far, you just say, "Great, we'll move on." And that's a smart move there. Let Sam rest a little bit because he'll be doing the next 3 events.
What I would like to do now is I'm going to go ahead and ask right here in Discord as well as let's go ahead and have a quick chat with Tyler, if you can, please, in Zoom. Oh, absolutely. Take care of your scores first, and then come talk to me if you get a chance. So while the judges are having a conversation with Tyler there to make sure that the start values are what he was expecting to see, because that's the one thing that the coaches get to talk to the judges, if ever during a competition, is they get to inquire about the start value of any one or any routine. So what the judge, as a coach, if you feel like, for example, we talked about that front prize L, right? If you feel, hey, as a coach, I felt like that was a backup prize L, he should have gotten credit for it. The judge is going to go yes or no, or explain to himself, as to where remind the coach, if you will, as to what the rules actually are to apply for that skill, and to say that in the judge's eye, this is what I saw today. This is what was performed. That's as far as the conversation can go. So the coaches can ask about this start value. They can present their argument, but obviously the final word relies on the judges, and then you just got to walk away and move on with the meat, right? And keep your spirits high for what's to come.
Yeah, it can be disappointing when you're a gymnast and you do something, you say, I think I got credit for that, and then the judge looks at you dead in the eyes and says, no, you didn't do it. And it's happened to me, and I have had to talk to the judges and then work with them a week later or so and say, hey, come on, you could have given me that. They say, I really couldn't have felt good if I gave you that.
That would have been nice.
It's all about sticking to code and making sure that everyone's getting judged fairly. And there's a reason we have codified points now. It's to make sure that there aren't any discrepancies when it comes to, I think this happened, I think that happened. It's good to have everything written and I would say clear and plain English. It's not, but in gymnastics talk.
Awesome. Hop on over to Zoom and we'll talk to you there.
I think we'll get Tyler in here.
All right. Yeah, we're going to get Tyler for a cousin. Yeah, here he is. Let's go ahead and bring him up. And let's see if I make sure I don't have anybody on. And then we do need you to unmute. Let me do a request for unmuting.
Good.
Let me say this.
They're good.
Sir.
They're good, Bruce.
Give me one second. There you go. Thank you so much. All right, Tyler. How you doing, man? First of all, thank you for having us. You're the official host for this meet. Of course, both teams are virtual, but we had to choose one as the actual host, and you guys are it. So this is your first time as such. How's it going for you so far?
Everything's going great. We're loving the format. We're loving the ability to kind of communicate with the judges in real time and being able to watch UIC compete at the same time. It's a great way to not only make the most of the COVID situation, but also kind of trailblazing a way for the future.
Fantastic. And how do you feel your team is performing so far according to what your expectations were, as far as, because there's always, what you've been training, what you're working towards, and what's to come. So how do you feel so far about the performance that your team's putting out?
Yeah, not a bad start. Definitely buffing out some of those kinks, getting ready for nationals when it really matters.
Speaking of nationals, that's going to be in a couple of weeks. We're going to be performing on a Saturday night of the developmental nationals. So in tandem with the juniors, do you guys, you as a coach and as and for the team there at the Challengers, do you guys have any juniors going to the meet at the same time?
Not here at Cobb, but Nikita is he also coaches junior athletes, and he's going to have some people there as well.
That's exciting because we're going to get to see the college guys performing, competing amongst all of the juniors, and that'll be a great way for the juniors to see what's going on in real life in person. I'm excited that this event's going to be happening.
And I'll actually be judging on high bars, so I'm excited to see them all there.
Oh, wow. So you're going to definitely be wearing multiple hats there. So you're going to be judging, coaching, and juniors, college guys, everything. That's fantastic. Right. A real Renaissance man. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for letting us join you. Good luck with the last 3 events. Let's get you guys going because you guys are up first on vault.
Thanks so much. Bye, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Tyler Green, the head coach for Georgia United, the brand new team this year at with us at GymACT. We're happy to have him. We're lucky to have him, in fact. So you see his team there kicking butt on their first season ever. So we're ready to start if you guys are.
Yeah, we'll head over to Bo Buckner first on vault. We'll see what he has in store for us today.
Bo Buckner on vault. Yep, that was you talking, so I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, we got Bo. He's a freshman here out of the Gymnastics Academy of Atlanta originally, and currently attends Chattahoochee Tech, I believe. They just put Chat Tech, so I'm assuming it's Chattahoochee. Named after the famous Alan Jackson song. Yeah, we'll see what it has in store for us today.
We're all set to go. Here we go with Bo Buckner from Georgia United on vault.
And tough landing there for Bo. Gets caught up, tripped up on the mat a little bit there. That's a bit unfortunate because there's a nice vault in the air, and he looks like he just tripped over the mat. So sometimes that sting mat is allowed, but sometimes you kick yourself for putting it in just because you use it, and then all of a sudden your foot gets caught on it, and it ruins your day. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to every gym.
Trade-off for the safety and comfort for the risk factor, right?
Exactly.
You got to make sure that you find that balance. It's all about balance and skill here in gymnastics. And moving right along to the UIC team, and it always puts a huge smile on my face when I see that poster behind them there at City Gymnastics. That is the Yurchenko vault poster right behind them. And Charlie was telling me that the gym is owned in part by Natalia Yurchenko, who created the
Sam starts off here with a nice Suk layout full. Kazumatsu stretch right there. Little hop on the landing, but a good clean vault to start it off for UIC.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and Breeze, like you said,
yeah,
a little off axis. We'll see what they do with that. It's kind of hard to see on the video. I mean, it's hard to see in real life, but it's even harder to see on video with the axis because you have to worry about going straight over the front of the table and also hitting the table on top. So there's multiple axes you have to worry about.
Yeah,
You
that's
see
right.
Georgia here has changed their mat setup. Probably a good call after Bo's vault. Smart thinking there from Coach Tyler. Good stuff from them. Yeah, and Breeze, you mentioned Natalia Yurchenko. She's the co-owner of City Gymnastics. And yeah, she's the inventor of the Yurchenko vault. Unfortunately, no UIC gymnast currently is training one. I think it's a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Charlie about that last time. He's like,
skill.
it'd be tough for me to be able to coach the vault that, when the inventor of the skill is standing right behind me here, breathing on my neck.
Yeah, it does make it a little awkward. I had a funny similar story. One of the coaches at my gym, my junior gym, originally coached Dragulescu, Marian Dragulescu. And so he taught me how to do a handspring double front. I never learned it that well, but perfect coach to have for it. Exactly.
Here's Kruin Ush from Georgia United on vault.
Kruin comes in with a Suk layout and a big step there, a little bit out of the white line, but a really nice vault from Kruin.
Let's put it out there for the YouTubers who are watching this. That was a layout vault, or is it a pike vault? What do you think? What is the criteria there, Mr. James?
Well, you definitely can't have your hands on your legs. That's the biggest criteria. As soon as you touch your legs, that makes it go from a layout to a pike. So that one's pretty easy to see. And I don't think he did touch there, but that's something to be noticed. The other thing is the hip angle, of course. That's, the obvious difference between a layout and a pike vault. And you can't have more than a 45-degree bend in your hips before it becomes a pike. I don't think he quite passed it, but we'll see what the judges do. I mean, I didn't have a great view of it. And it can be hard to tell when they're moving that fast on vault. Someone else might have a little bit of a pike vault.
The judges have a split-second decision to make that call and say what it is and face the wrath of the coaches afterwards.
Nick Smiley, layout. Really well performed for Nick. He's had a little bit of trouble with piking that vault down and landing short close to the table, but he does it really, really well here today. That was a nice vault for Nick. A lot of power, kept it nice and laid out the whole time. So definitely something to be happy with for Nick.
Yeah, you notice the difference in the surface areas as well. Of course, we talked about the tripping that happened in the mats earlier on the Georgia United team, but these guys from UIC are competing on today on what's basically a stiff resi pit area with a hard 8-incher on top of it. And this is not to spec for FIG, for the international competitions, if you will, but it is the best that they can do to make it mimic the gymnastics competitions surface areas, which is basically concrete or wood floor with the mats on top of it. So
exactly,
and that might make it sound like it's easier, but it is.
It's a lot harder to land on, because on the softer mat. Yeah, you can't stick on a soft mat the same way you can on a hard mat. You can land a perfect vault on a soft mat, and all of a sudden you get launched off of it.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad, but it's imagine yourself standing on the ground or standing on the yoga ball, right? Which one is easier? Exactly. When it's softer and wobbly, it's harder to stand.
Jamin Rasmussen here coming in with a Yurchenko style vault.
There it is.
Yurchenko looked like a layout, but a good vault for Jamie. He kind of hopped backwards out of it. That vault has a lot of power, so I bet he's probably working some twisting out of it or something else to upgrade, because that was a big, powerful vault. And it looked like he came in a little bit low on the table. He had his arms bent there, which is a slight deduction, but more than anything, it makes it hard to gauge where you're going to land. And that's probably why he stumbled backwards out of it a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to go to the graphic on the wall here to show you what it is supposed
to. This is how you're supposed to do it. Yeah.
Get Natalia on the phone. Let's see what's going on.
That's the playbook right there. Yeah, next up we got Sam Norwood. Sam Norwood, we saw him on floor earlier. We'll see him on floor. Sam Norwood does Suk layout.
Clearly.
And big hop back there, but not too bad. And he definitely had the layout position, but his hands were a little close to his legs. I don't think he did touch, but it was a little bit hard to tell. So that's one of those things you got to be cognizant of as a gymnast, just making sure that no matter how laid out you are, if your hands are on your legs, it's going to ruin your score. Well, not too bad, only 4/10, but still not going to be happy about it for sure. And we're back to Georgia here with Hunter Clulo.
Quick from one guy to the other.
Yeah, vault moves quick here. Hunter Clulo saluting away in the back there.
Going just like in the real time, in-person competitions. The teams fall into a flow. The judges, the coaches, everyone kind of figures out the moves.
Exactly. Hunter comes in, nice Suk layout, really clean in the air, nice position. Arms clearly away from the legs, which is really nice kind of flare to it. Little hop on the landing there, a little step back, but he stayed in the lines, which is good. Just like on floor, 1 foot out is going to be a 1/10 deduction, and 2 feet out is a 3/10 deduction, a medium. But Hunter stayed right in, which is good. And Georgia opting with the kind of simple and clean approach on vault. We're not seeing a lot of twist. We didn't see any twisting out of them, but we did see a lot of clean vaults, which is good for the score and good for morale. You stay on your feet. You have no misses. That's honestly more important when you're halfway through the meet and you have all these guys doing basically all around for all of them, or close to it, which is really taxing both physically and mentally, to try to keep up with 6 events where you have the UIC guys doing 2, 3, maybe even 1 event. I'm not going to say that UIC guys don't have it with a couple of events, but it does make it easier when you don't have to go back to back to back.
It takes the pressure off.
Eric here comes with a Souk layout and little step out of bounds there. That'll cost him a 10th. But a good routine, for a good vault from Eric nonetheless. He's not a vault guy particularly, but he stepped up, I believe it was last year, for the first time on vault. And since then, it's been kind of a fill-in guy when UIC needs him. We have Georgia here moving. Nice. Good view of the P-bars there from Georgia. And UIC also going to get set up in the other room as well for P-bars.
Yeah, moving right along. The coaches and the judges are talking about their scores there. I got a little distracted with what they were saying, but it looks like they are getting things squared away in the system and making sure that they're all on the same page of the manual. Anyways, but the gymnastics is happening. This is fantastic. I'm happy to talk about what's going on with these 2 teams. Thank you so much for Georgia United and to Gymnastics at UIC for their performances today. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on with the scores here. So after 4 full rotations, we have Gymnastics at UIC still leading the way here little by little. But he's going in Georgia United with 168.8 points and and Gymnastics at UIC with 186.8. So UIC pulling away, little by little here as we go. So once again displaying that the maturity and experience of the team, and also the depth, like you were saying, they have the ability to put not only their best guys up, but also to save for safety reasons, pull out the ones who are not, maybe feeling totally safe today or totally ready, or even to just want to rest, right, for the next meet. So this is where
we saw Colin Schwartz. Colin Schwartz was originally listed to do vault there, but he pulled out and he'll get to save his energy a little bit for P-bars when he gets to go up here.
That's right.
Which is, definitely a big boost for him. You don't have to wear yourself out, even if it's just, a 10-second vault. It's something that you have to worry about. It's landing. It's a pop off of your arms, which, those little things can add up when you need to go over to P-bars next and do a big support heavy routine like he does.
That's right. That's right. And then, be ready for that one and kick it into high gear.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're moving on right along here to the parallel bars area. We see that the Georgia guys are still warming up, and that's fantastic. It's a good view. I love seeing the background, what's happening in the gym. So that's why I'm pulling these views for everybody to be able to see it too. So it looks like we're moving on to parallel bars, where the execution judge now will be Mr. Michael Bry from Colorado, and judging on parallel bars, it's going to be Peter Wiegand for Georgia United, and we're going to have Mr. Mike Cook for the UIC team. So starting from Georgia United on the parallel bars, I speak slowly as I find the buttons I need.
Yeah. Adam Hutchinson first up on P-bars here. Yeah, I said before, ready. Adam's a junior. Yeah, still warming up here. Adam actually was originally slated to compete in American Ninja Warrior season 12 before it wound up getting canceled. One of the many gymnastics greats who would be part of that includes, Sean Johnson did it, Danelle Leva, and of course Trent Jarrett, also out of Georgia, who's also on it. But yeah, it's a kind of a fun thing to do. It's definitely something a lot of gymnasts are suited for, but
career.
Good to see. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a number of athletes, of course, from the gymnastics world do move on to the performing world, especially those of us who show off a lot in their gymnastics and decide that that originality and virtuosity is more important than scores. And just recently, and I'll toot the horn a little bit of one of my former athletes and your compatriot and comrade in arms in Nathan Tsuji, who went to University of Washington, and he competed for 4 years as a GymACT athlete as well. He went on to perform, well, to rehearse to perform with Cirque du Soleil, but then didn't get to because of COVID. But just recently, and apparently the lawyers do allow me to say so, he auditioned for America's Got Talent with a group of other guys. So I'm excited to see, hopefully see him on television in the near future, but we'll see if it works or not. But congratulations to all the athletes who do go on in pursuit of the excellence and performance and, and display the best what they have to show to the world. So here it goes. Adam Hutchinson on parallel bars for Georgia United.
Adam here starting off in the middle of the bars, ignoring the springboard behind him, starts off with a nice glide kip and stops really nicely in the L. That's actually a little bit harder than most people would think to have that much control. A little bit of a short hold there. You need to hold for a full 2 seconds for every L and handstands that you don't swing through. Nice press, goes into the cast, uprise, cut, catch, and swings to the handstand. This one he holds nice and long. Comes into his front uprise skill and dismounts front full, and a nice stuck landing there for Adam. Really nice, clean, simple routine from Adam. Super smart construction, hits all the boxes and gets everything he needs in there, while giving up basically nothing to the judges. I'd be surprised if there was more than a point on that routine. I would have trouble finding that much. But I don't have my judging.
We did see that short hold on the L, so that that's a start right there.
That could be 3 right there.
Not much else other than that, to be honest with you. That was a beautiful routine, a great way to start Adam Hutchinson, and just said and done. Look at that, 7/10 off only on his full routine. That's a great way to go. With
that's really fantastic. For
looking
him.
at the
okay, so we are going to be on floor and ball.
We don't throwing.
Yep, there we are. Judges keep going with the routine, entering the scores for that. As we move on to the next competitor from UIC, we are going to have
It's on the back.
Sam Montague up first here.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Sam Montague getting the blue flag here for Charlie Nelson to start off the set. Sam starts off front uprise, swinging to handstand. Nice good hold there from Sam. Starts with a giant swing into the Suarez. Comes up a little bit short there. You want to see his body even with the bars. That's a big skill from Sam right there. It's a D value. Comes back with a nice peach to support. And a good L hold. Clean routine so far, other than coming up a little bit short. Holds the press and finishes double back cut. And a little hot, but a really nice routine and a lot of big value there from Sam.
Yeah,
that combo right
is one of my favorite skills ever.
Yeah, named after, of course, Casimiro Suarez.
Yeah, he's the assistant coach for Ohio, right?
Ohio State, yeah.
Yeah.
They just finished up their season. Well, 2 nights, I guess, last night. They had a few guys in the finals. But yeah, if you watch the Ohio State meet, you will notice him. There's no way to miss him and his celebrations when the guys are done with their sets.
Indeed, I had the pleasure of meeting him a number of times. He actually coached in Brazil for a little while I was there too, training and competing. And he, what a human being, what a great human being. And he's actually a pretty tall guy. When you see these guys doing the Suarez, he's usually the shorter dudes who are doing it. And I don't know how he got his long frame under the bar to swing that skill, but he sure did it.
Here we got Cruin starting off with the same way with a nice kip, but swings to handstand here. Really smooth, well done there. And you see him doing what's called milking the bars there. He opens and closes his hands. Starts with a cast and does an empty back uprise. So that's going to be a 3/10 deduction there for the half swing that he did. That's allowed in JOs, but not in collegiate gymnastics. Goes with a front uprise.
Always a pain to do.
Yeah, it's harder than you'd think, and you have to work into your routine some way. Another empty half swing and comes up short on the front full. So a little bit of a tough routine there from Cruin, but not bad. Stayed clean on the bars. His only real major issues were the half swings and the fall.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I know it sounds silly when I say it like that, but
the routine construction errors that we just pointed out, he's very clean athlete. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. You see, he only picks up 2.5 points in deduction with a fall. That actually isn't really as bad as it sounds. So if he puts that on his feet, then he's looking at actually a much higher score. So hopefully, he'll go to nationals and he'll be able to put that up on his feet and he'll be all good.
Moving right along to Eric Barnes from UIC.
Eric here getting the green flag from Charlie to get going. Eric, we saw him on pommel horse earlier with a nice clean set. Starts off here, same way as the other guys, kip and L. So he did a little just a little different technique.
Come on, Rick.
Nice press to handstand. Starts off with splits the handstand, little leg split, but not too bad. Works the front uprise in there as well. Going back to the deep basket, falls immediately into the calf. Uprise, really smooth combo right there. Really well done for Eric. And finishes up the routine here, back half.
Oh yeah.
Great way to do that routine, Eric. That was nice. Again, another super clean routine. That's really, it's the name of the game everywhere, but on P-bars especially. On and off, quick, simple, clean routines. That's what's going to get the job done. And that was a really good example of it for Eric there.
Yeah, other than
We'll head
leg separation on his stoots, everything else was, perfectly tight, swinging to handstand where necessary. A great job there, Eric Barnes. Well done. Moving right along to Bo Buckner from Georgia United.
You got it.
From Cobb's Challengers Gymnastics.
Wait.
Yeah, with their Bo starts it off here from the springboard this time. B-bar is one of the only 2 events you're allowed to springboard on. Bo with another empty half swing there. He went kip and a push back immediately into his moi, and misses the handstand there. He picks up a full empty swing there and comes off. So a little bit of a break there for Bo. He gets 30 seconds to remount, so he can take his time, but chooses to get right back up instead. And sits on the bars, which is a bit of a rookie move from Bo, and something that's not really supposed to be done there when remounting. Those are the pirouette, a little bit of leg split, but controls it well, saves it in the end. Front uprise, swing to handstand, and finishes back half. A good way to finish up for Bo after the break on that swing to handstand there. So it's a really good, I say it was a rookie move the way he remounted, but it was a veteran way to finish up the routine really well. After he made that one mistake.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where you got to recompose yourself whatever it takes, and if that's what matters, to finish the routine strong, then that's what you got to do to get the job done.
Exactly. No, and I love to see the determination there to get back up and finish, because it can be tough, especially after he's had a few other routines. It's not like this is his one event where he goes up and makes one mistake. This has been a long day for them. And it's really tough even to get back up on the event and try to do your best, and to do it that well is really good for him.
Yeah, and the only way to learn how to compete is to compete. So here's where we are, bringing things together, because no matter how much you prepare and work out, you don't do your routines until you're ready. You don't do your routines until you're well rested. In competition, when your name gets called, that's when you got to go, and and there's no excuses.
Exactly. Nick Smiley here, former JO national champ on P-bars here. Starts off with a really clean kip to L, press to handstand. You see his line so clean through those legs there. Starts off with the Belo's air choke, stoots to 1 bar, beyond the dog, front uprise. Really clean so far for Nick. Short hold handstand, comes back with a nice stutz, and finishes double tuck and a little hop on the landing, but a nice routine from Nick and a ton of upper bar work. That was really great for Nick.
Yeah, Nick was one of those guys where he tries to fool the judges by going faster through his routine and just aggressive all the way. But there's definitely a couple of times there where some of those handstands are required to be held, where he just kind of brushed through and went on right on to the next skill, which to his advantage makes the skill happen. So, good call, right? Take the 3/10 hit for a short hold, but make the next skill. Now, if you are used to being aggressive, then continue aggressive. If that, hold the handstand a little too long, throws your psyche off, and suddenly you're missing 3 skills after that.
Yeah, Nick would have done better with that old code when you're only allowed to hold 2 handstands.
That's right.
Maybe he would have moved even more quickly through those ones. But the new rules now, basically, if you swing backwards to a handstand, you have to hold it. If you do a skill through a handstand, it's not required to be held.
Jamin Rasmussen from Georgia United on parallel bars.
We got Jamin starting off here, same way, kip up to the L. And kicks up to the handstand. Interesting technique, but technically allowed, nothing wrong with that. Little check on the handstand. And you see the milking there. That's 1/10 for opening and closing your hands. That's something that judges have been hitting on pretty hard recently. But a nice
I wonder
peach
if
to
that's in
L.
the code of points. Milking the bars 1/10.
It's not written that way, but it is in there. Otherwise, a really clean routine so far. Interesting technique on the front upright. And you see another front fold dismount. And well done for Jamin there. That was a really solid routine from him.
Performing the skills in a way that works for him and his body type and abilities, and that was exactly what needs to happen. Fairly clean everywhere across. That I'll be honest with you, I was surprised to see that dismount went to his feet based on his front upright technique. But you know, again, it's you do what you got to do to make the skill happen, and you learn how to do it clean. And there's no deduction for changing the technique unless your body positions are incorrect. So other than that, he did a great job.
Yeah, we'll get to see that more on high bar as well. As there's been a specification to the rules basically that says you can alter the shape of your body to facilitate a skill happening. And that, of course, means the taps on high bar that you see for Tkachev's and the Chinese tap to make dismounts and releases happen. But it comes into play on P-bars, and people have argued the same thing. I've been around heated debates of judges who say, no, you can arch your body into a stutz to pick up speed, or no, you can't, that's messing up the swing. But the general consensus is if it works and you don't butcher the skill too much, it's allowed. All right, P-bars. Our last guy here, James Freeby from UIC. Freeby starting off the mats here, running all the way up into a kip. A nice big swing to handstand. Really clean, smooth movements here from James. Another one of those long guys. Nice peach to L there. He struggled with that last meet, but does it really well here. James will go into his upper bar sequence now. Goes with the stutz to handstand. And that was the first one we saw with nice legs together there. And that's one of those that does not have to be helped. Finishing double back.
High
a little hop, but a great landing from James. Huge power on the double back. And that is a routine to be happy about. He struggled early on pommel horse, but that was a great way to make up for it there for James.
Another great rotation for both of these teams. We got Georgia United in Atlanta, and we have gymnastics at UIC coming to us from the outskirts of Chicago. And what great performances so far. We've had 5 rotations, and both of these teams really kicking into high gear. We see that they're getting ready for national championships, which will be happening on the second weekend of May in tandem with the developmental national championships hosted by USA Gymnastics. USA Gymnastics. Yes, thank you. I was like, you changed the name recently, but if you go to usagym.org, you will see all the information that we need for national championships. And I would love to actually pull that up real quick just to show that on the website here for USA Gymnastics, you go to the events and you will see collegiate national championships. And in fact, our college championships hosted by USA Gymnastics is right here in tandem with the developmental in Florida at Daytona Beach, I should say, in Florida. So that's where nationals is going to be happening. But back to our competition today. These are the gentlemen from Georgia United and UIC on parallel bars here. You see their scores, their start values, and the deductions. Really great job from everyone on parallel bars today. We had a Bo there with a couple of falls, unfortunately, but other than that, those who stayed on the bars, great clean routines all across. So now the team standings after 5 events goes like this, from the Mr. athletes from Georgia United with the 210.4 after 5 events, and gymnastics at UIC with 234.6. UIC once again pulling ahead little by little, etching the way up and higher into the standings there, showing that their experience and clean sets, balancing well with the difficulty has been a winning strategy for them so far this season.
Yeah, we're heading to the last event here, but really anything can happen on high bar, especially. It's a high flying event. It's the most fun to watch, I would argue, but it's also the one that has the most crazy stuff happen. I mean, you see grips snap, bars rip out of the ground, people come off for all sorts of reasons. But that's what makes it so good to watch. Yeah, I think every gymnast has had at least one of those happen.
That's right.
Uh,
Yeah, you don't want to see it. Of course,
part
high
of the
bar is
sport.
exciting. What I usually say, high bar is exciting if it goes well. High bar is exciting if it doesn't go well.
It sure does. Yeah. Either way, you're in for a show.
Either way,
Um,
I'd like to say thank you for all of those who are joining us on YouTube and commenting and questioning and letting me know that I'm not doing a great job. That's fine too. Thank you to Joe. Thank you to Jim. Thank you to Danny. Thank you to Caleb. Thank you to Laura. Thank you to Cricket 4747, whatever the numbers are there. Cricket, thanks for being there. Thank you to Scott Barkley. Oh my goodness. If I knew you were there watching, I'd have behaved myself a little bit better. Nah, probably not. Thanks to Innisfree. Oh, yay. I love you. Thank you for being here. Eric Montague. Of course, there's always a family member watching, right? We got everyone here. Aiden, thanks for being there. If I did not call your name or read your comments or answer to your comments already on air, I apologize. We're doing our best to maintain the meet running at full speed here. So let's see. Yep, first play. Great job, everybody. So if you want to hop on YouTube and make some comments or questions or concerns or complaints, go on ahead. We'll ignore some of those.
You guys got one rotation if you want to put anything in. If you got questions or, I don't know, comments, whatever.
Ask James
Just let
about
us know.
CERN. That's what I want to know. What's going on? James, I'm going to go with this because I am so incredibly proud of you, man. Not only were you an incredible athlete, incredible gymnast for UIC for all your years. In fact, you went through the transition of being both a varsity athlete and a GymACT athlete and did well in both accounts. So well done there. And then once we had our season cut short, we still presented the N2 award, which you received. Congratulations, the old Heisman of gymnastics. And or I should say Heisman is the N2 of football. And congratulations on winning that. I mentioned earlier Nathan Suji, who was actually the first one to receive that award as well. But now you live in Amsterdam, going to school, getting some stuff done there for your education, and then you have an exciting summer coming up.
Yeah, I'm working on a master's in chemistry degree right now with a focus on basically it's called Science for Energy and Sustainability. So a big focus on renewables and sustainability in general. And this summer I'm going to be working at CERN, the premier center for nuclear research in Europe. And I'll be working in a program there to basically bring high-tech solutions to big problems into real-world applications. So it's a super exciting program. I'm really looking forward to it. So it should be a good time.
My goodness. Well, listen, I am excited to hear more of that, but let's go ahead and continue with today's competition. We have on high bar from Georgia United, Mr. Adam Hutchinson. Adam Hutchinson from Georgia
here.
United.
Starting us off on our last event here, Adam. And at this point, he has eaten 6 mini Three Musketeers bars. I guess he eats one before every single event. Not the weirdest tradition I've ever heard of. Definitely not the weirdest eating tradition I've heard of during a meet. Adam starts it off here with a Veronin, vault catch, hecht, whatever you want to call it. Kips up into front giants, nice Healy spin, finishes well above the bar there, and turns into the pirouette again. Good on those angles, and finishes up here double tuck. And a stuck landing for Adam.
There it is. Stuck landing on high bar number 1.
Great start for Georgia United there. Really clean, smart routine, hits everything that he needs to. On high bar, those element groups are going to be your release element. That was the first one that he did with the hecht. Then the in-bar element, which is he fulfilled with the kip. And then the long swings, which are giants. And for him, the Healy turn and the pirouette that he did as well. And then his dismount. And like we said, hitting the handstands on those turning elements is super key. You quickly lose tenths. As soon as you're 15 degrees off of the handstand, you start losing tenths. And if you get down to 45 degrees on some of the turns, you even lose credit for the skill entirely. So it's a tough line to draw, and it makes those skills, they seem really attractive because they're fairly low effort to do if you want to do them poorly, but they're super high deduction, which makes them really tough to do. But Adam doing them super well there, and a great way to pick up some value and do it cleanly for him. We head back over to UIC over at City. We'll start off with Sam Norwood. We saw him twice earlier. And UIC looks like they're only putting 3 up on this event. So we'll see how that strategy pans out for them. But they're a little bit short on depth here, especially on high bars. It's a tough area to keep guys on the lineup. It's super heavy in injuries. You just pick up a ton of shoulder injuries really quickly, or even back and forth, and even some leg injuries can keep you out of high bar. So Sam Norwood, one of those guys battling injuries. He had a UCL tear in his left elbow. I want to say it was about 3 years ago now, but he's been fighting the repercussions of that for a long time.
Yeah, elbow injuries. In fact, any injury really is hard to come back in gymnastics. But fortunately, we do have multiple events and skills that you can still train and work on your conditioning and flexibility, and sometimes turn your weakness into a strength.
Sam starts off with a nice big Takachev. He's got a super unique tap there, but does it really well. Sam breaking in here for his free handstand and going right to the handstand. That's another one that has to finish in the handstand. Flying giant, staple of the UIC high bar lineup. Finishes double tuck half high.
Way above the bar, drops down from 12 feet high and sticks the landing.
Huge routine, really great, clean on the release, on the in bar, and on the dismount. And he does well. You see him nursing that elbow a little bit after he comes off, but that's a routine to be happy about. He can go ice it later.
He's done. You can go ice now.
He's done. That's it. No, that was good. I think Sam Norwood and I had the same experience. We'd finish up our high bar sets whenever we were to meet, and head first thing right over to the trainers, grab some ice and slap it on. For me, my shoulder, and for him, his elbow. And just get out of there, get some Advil, and hope that you feel okay in the morning.
And that was the nice thing about being in a varsity program. So I'm going to go ahead and toot the horns right now for all of these GymACT programs that are actually fully 100% self-funded, not affiliated with the universities in any financial sense. So when you talk about the guys getting their trainers and tape and ice and all that, these guys have to provide all their own. So ladies and gentlemen, if you feel so compelled, if you would please go ahead and hit the donate button that's right there on our website at Virtual Stars Gymnastics. All of the funds that you donate today will go straight into GymACT and providing opportunities for more programs to continue to join us and to support the programs that are already in existence. And yes, we do financially distribute the money and the funds in a way that is equitable for all the teams. And we make sure that these teams have what they need as much as possible to take care of themselves and be self-reliant. And here we are with Jamin Rasmussen from GAU. Oh, a little struggle there, a little too late on that tap. So I'll let you take over there, James.
Yeah, Jamin overshoots the Takachev there just a little bit. You see, he pulled his toes down a little bit too hard on the tap, and it can be tough from a spectator point of view. But if you have done a dismount and a Takachev, you know the difference between those two taps. And he pulled over a little bit more like a dismount tap. The Takachev tap, you want to come over and push back basically straight to launch yourself up over the bar. And he came over a little bit too far, which put him behind. But other than that, it was really clean. And it's weird to say that, but a clean fall on high bar can actually be kind of a good thing, because he's just going to lose probably just the point for the fall. And he didn't look ugly before that. He didn't catch on with his legs bent and then fall in the front, but he just missed, and that's that. And we'll see if he repeats the skill or not. This is, again, one of those tough coaching moments to say, well, this is a 8/10 skill between the element group and the value of the skill. It's a C Takachev.
If it's the only, if it's the only release move, that's a really required. And also because if you might have close to 7 skills in his routine, if he's missing one, he's going to lose those 4 points for not having enough skills in the routine.
Exactly.
It looks like he's going to go for it. See the coach behind him there.
Yeah. Get the mat up again.
Come on, Jamin.
It comes over here.
Yeah, much
Taps
better.
A little bit earlier this time. Much
there.
better.
Oh, just didn't get the dowel over the bar. Unfortunate turn of events for Jamin there on high bar. Needed that skill to continue his routine, and we both saw here from our trained eye that the tap was indeed better this time around, but he just did not get his dowel over the bar. And unfortunate right there. You're going to see this time, you know, it's going to be a much shorter conversation between him and his coaches, and he's going to go back to the high bar and just finish the routine from there, or not. Let's see. Maybe he's going to try for a third time. I know I've done it a few times. You know, I knew I could get that, and then the third time, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and that's tough to watch. Comes back with a hecht, nice way to pick up and actually get the release in there while continuing the routine. That's a really smart move there for the Georgia United guys between the coaching and the gymnast. That's a really smart way to handle this. Pirouette work, a little bit sloppy with the legs there and over, but he's definitely tired at this point. That's okay. Finishes up double tuck full. Yeah. Comes up short there.
Exhaustion comes up. Yeah.
And it takes a lot out of you to come off the high bar, especially when you have to do 2 Takachev taps. Those are tough on the shoulders. They're tough on the body, and you know, and coming off on them twice is definitely not a good thing to do. I think if I ever fell twice on a Tkachev in a routine at the gym, I was going to fall on my dismount. There was no way I was
Yeah.
putting that to my feet.
When it moves are that aggressive and you're already pumping all the lactic acid through your body and you have very little oxygen left over, it's incredibly difficult. So yeah, falling off the high bar is an incredibly taxing thing to happen to an athlete. Going back up there again and getting the momentum and getting yourself back up to speed again, it takes a lot out of you. So well done on finishing as well as he did, in fact.
Yeah. We head back over to UIC with Stephen Forbes. Forbes, you saw over on floor at the beginning of the meet. Floor and high bar, guys, is exactly what I did as a gymnast. So glad to see someone who's holding up the tradition of the floor high bar 2-event guy.
Sit around for
super clean.
The majority of the meet.
Yeah. Steven starts off with what looked like a hex. Hips over into the pirouette. Well done there. It goes into the Higgins there. That's the reverse turn, but keeps it up on top of the bar well. That's tough to do.
Yeah, you see very few guys doing the Higgins because it's an easy thing to get a deduction.
Exactly. Double tuck, a little hop on the landing, but a super clean routine on the bar. Like I said, hitting those handstands well, nice release and a good kip. So yeah, super short, clean, simple, but well done for Steven there. And that was, I believe, his first high bar routine with UIC. So a really great way to start it off for him. And so far he's 4 for 4 on his college routine. So she's a really, really fantastic start for him. A lot of guys, you start off your freshman year and you're rocky, you hit maybe a 75% hit rate and call that pretty good. But this guy's blowing it out of the water with 100% so far, which is great for him.
See how long he keeps that streak going. Now, you mentioned that you would do sometimes or your strong events, which were floor and high bar, but I was an all-arounder, so I just kept on going, bonsaiing through the entire competition. But how was it that you kept yourself prepared from one event to the other? I mean, that's a long wait between floor and high bar.
Especially with floor and high bar, first and last. You basically got to keep sweatshirt, sweatpants on the whole time, physically staying warm. You got to keep moving. And for me, the biggest thing was keeping on cheering and being loud and aggressive for my team.
And apparently you did that well, because someone on YouTube said that you, as one of the founding members of the team for GymACT, you were the loudest one there. So they, definitely a leader, leading by example with your cheering.
That was pretty loud. We got Kruin again starting off, and a little bit tough on the kip there. He reverses direction with a 3/10 neutral deduction for the empty swing, but good work through the pirouettes here and double pike.
Yeah, we saw that quintessential pike position with the hands behind the leg, at 45 degree, a clear pike shape on a dismount.
Yeah, definitely a pike dismount, but really well done and a little step there, but a good performance today from Kruin. This is really fantastic. Good start for these guys overall at Georgia United. They're really killing it the first day out. Well, I guess this is their second competition, but for a young program to be doing this well with a lot of all-around or multi-event guys, it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, they're putting into high gear, figuring out how to generate that momentum from within, which is important, right? I mean, you don't have the noise of the crowds quite yet in our competitions, as obviously they're in the gym, they're in their own training gym, empty, just the team members and some of the staffing. But other than that, you got to find from within. What does it take? What does it take to be there for your brothers? What does it take to be there for your teammates, for your coaches, and and present the best gymnastics that you have?
Exactly. And Sam Montague here, last routine for UIC. Pops up. He's a big high bar guy. Really fantastic work. We'll see what he does for us today. Starts off with a free hip, that Russian style start. Big tap into the Tkachev straddled. And that's how you do a Tkachev tap. Puts it right on the bar. He finishes, he almost front flips back onto the bar and gets his hands there quick. Keeps it going with the fly giant, some turning elements here, and finishing up, winding up for his dismount, double layout full, and a little hop there, fighting for that landing. A great routine from Sam. That was a great way to finish up for him.
And that was the last athlete on high bar for the UIC team. We still have one last men to compete on high bar for Georgia United. We're going to go right now to their team there. Back at Cobb's Challengers and Bo Buckner from Georgia United on high bar.
Yeah, Bo finishing up the meet here for us. Let's see what he has in store to punctuate this fantastic meet that we've gotten to see today. Really great work from both teams, and we'll just see how it wraps up here with Bo.
Saw some last
Bo in a
pointers there from his coach Tyler Green, who's both coaching and trying to talk to the judges at the same time, making sure that got things running at the right speed for the meet.
Bo ready to go now. Starting off here, that same release we've seen before, the Hecht release, puts it right on top of the bar. And again, oh, comes off on the kip.
I think he was supposed to go over the bar there in pirouette, but
yeah. Yeah, the kip doesn't actually finish in a handstand. In JO, sometimes you're allowed to lay away from it and just go right into a back giant. But in collegiate gymnastics, you need to go over the bar, whether it's a pirouette or you're going into a front giant, you got to go straight into it. And Bo came off because he didn't get his shoulders quite far enough over the bar, didn't keep going. But now he remounts into that front giant that he meant to do the first time. Goes into his pirouette.
There you go.
Free hip shoots over just a bit, and he fights through the next giant just to pull it over. Winding up for the dismount here. Big dismount, double tuck, and steps forward out of it. But a good way to finish up for Bo. Really strong
Buckner
mentally to get back
from
up
Georgia
there and finish.
United. Yeah, indeed, finishing with a strong dismount, super high. Pretty good landing there, a little bit of a step out, but he had a lot of power, that's for sure. And that is the end of the competition for today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Please don't go anywhere because we still got some presentations of the awards to do for you, and see what else happens here as we finish up the presentation of our competition for Georgia United and gymnastics at UIC.
Unnecessary stuff.
So I think they have to wait because they have to do some kind of.
We're gonna go ahead and mute this. Let me take care of some business here real quick. One thing at a time. We're gonna go ahead and mute the you guys. Remind the judges, and I'll do this in real time. So
Yeah,
for
we'll
both the
head over
audience
to,
members and the coaches and judges, we're going to go check the scores for verification at this time, and go ahead and do that at your leisure there at the in the voice channel Meet Management in Discord, and then come right on back to the Zoom and go ahead and start turning on your cameras back up again so we can see your beautiful faces. Well, I'll meet you guys there. When I see you there, we'll talk about the rest of the meet.
Yeah, we're just finishing up here. This is normal procedures to tally up the scores, make sure everything came in correctly, no more final inquiries. This is what happens at every single meet behind the scenes. And no matter how long you've been in the gymnastics world, you always learn more and more about how judging is set up every year, I think. And I think with the virtual stuff, you guys get to see a bit more of it, which can be a little bit fun. Yeah, UIC getting set up here, and Georgia looks like they're not. So we'll see what they're doing in the background to get set up for awards here.
Yeah, what a great meet this was. I am really stoked to see this Georgia United team growing each time that I see them. They're looking better and better. And, you know, the season is what it is, right? These guys are preparing the best way they can, getting ready for the last competition, and sometimes putting in some skills that you may not be quite ready for prime time, but you got to compete it at some point. You want to take some of that risk now and learn what it's like to go through all of those routines with those skills in them, and then make some decisions as to whether or not it's worth it to take the risk at the last meet of the year. So I'm seeing some improvements in their difficulty. I'm seeing improvements in their presentation. And so Georgia United definitely showing maturity that's coming on with the growth of this team. So congratulations to them. UIC, in my perspective, again, the nice clean presentations. I saw a little bit more wobbles under landings than they normally typically show, showing a little bit, perhaps a little bit signs of fatigue. But you know, it's what it is today, right? How are you guys feeling today? What was happening? Maybe they were having maybe finals are happening at school, or half the team broke with their girlfriends all at the same time. Who knows? But these guys put on still a great show for us today. Great presentation, great difficulty, but not quite the sharp routines that I've been accustomed to see from UIC. But you know, but the results are what they are. You walk away with what you got.
Yeah, definitely
James,
not a bad performance by any stretch. Yeah, not a bad performance by any stretch. I think there's a lot of ups and downs in training as it goes. And this is a long season for these guys. Typically, you finish up your season, well, this weekend with NCAA championships. And that's where UIC would normally be at. And that's kind of their regimented training schedule is built for that. With the longer season, nationals in a couple of weeks, you kind of have to adjust. And there's a little bit of a rocky road in that transition. And sometimes it helps to kind of dip right before you peak. And so maybe we saw that today. These guys have maybe scaled down their load a little bit. So they don't look as refined right now, but they're probably feeling better in their bodies. And then they'll ramp up to heavy training in the last few weeks just to get ready for nationals. And personally, I liked to kind of taper down my routine numbers and work on my strength and my basics a little bit, and then hit with a big push of routines just before the last meet of the year, which for me was ECACs, and for other guys could be NCAAs. But yeah, really pushing the last big routines the last few weeks, and I'm sure we'll see that in their preparation before for national championships.
For national championships, yeah. And speaking of national championships, just one more reminder is that national championships will be happening in tandem with the developmental, what used to be JO Nationals, but it is on the weekend of the 15th of May. In fact, the 15th is Saturday, the day of the actual competition for the college guys. And so all throughout the week, in the weekend, we're going to have juniors competing, JO, JE, and all the other names for denominations for the juniors that we have these days for developmentals. But we also will have that college competition going on. So, all right, that's pretty much it. We are getting ready for that. And then looks like these guys are done getting their scores have been verified. So as soon as we see more and more folks joining us here on the Zoom conversation, I will start making announcements of the team awards. So ladies and gentlemen, let's make sure that both teams are present and in front of the camera so that we can see them. And athletes, I'm going to ask you just for the team presentation that you stand, if you don't mind. Appreciate that. I don't know if they can hear me or not, but we'll find out. If they cannot hear me, someone will tell them. There you go. So, we'll get you guys to sit down for the individuals, but for now, let's go ahead and look presentable for the audience and for the crowds and for yourselves. You should be absolutely proud of your performance today. Athletes from both teams, UIC and Georgia United. I think the Georgia United guys are coming up. There you go. They're getting their ice bags on. We'll see. So, once again, I'm Breeze Olson. I'm here in Santa Cruz, California. James Martin, thanks for joining us all the way from Amsterdam. The coaches today have been and continue to be Mr. Peter Wiggin, Mike Cook, and Michael Bry from all over the place. This is the beauty of the platform, the virtual platform, Virtual Stars Gymnastics, spearheaded by Mr. Robert Davis, the master of score, and the background of the geekness of the whole operation. Without him, none of this would be possible. So thank you, Robert, for putting it all together for us. And for both teams, of course, Tyler Green, the coach from Georgia United, and Charlie Nelson from UIC, and their respective assistant coaches, Nikita and Satchel. Thank you. I know. I was like, I didn't want to read it. I was trying to remember it. Dang it. I almost had it. Okay, here we are. The teams are ready. So congratulations, gentlemen, for your wonderful competition today. But there we are with the awards for today. And this is, again, in the 5-up, 4-count sort of a tally mechanism, where we had each team could compete as many as 5 athletes, dropping the lowest score, but only 4 scores count for the total. First off, the bragging rights for the team who had the most stuck landings. Actually, you get to share that honor. So congratulations to both Georgia United and UIC with one flag of stuck bonus for each of the teams. So congratulations there. So you guys both get to say you were the winner of the most sticks of this competition. So just, omit the other part. That's fine. Just put that on your Instagram feed. We won the stuck landing competition. And without further ado, we have with 239.2 points after 6 rotations, 4 men's scores, we have the team brand new to GymACT this year, Georgia United Gymnastics. And with 269 points with a 5-up, 4-count, all the way from Chicago, Gymnastics at UIC. Congratulations, Chicago, with 269 points. The winners today, the team showing once again that clean routines and composure and experience counted for the team score. First place there. So congratulations. Now, gentlemen, you can go ahead and have a seat on the floor. I know this can take a little bit of time, and we're going to go ahead and do, wait a minute. Is this, I'm skipping my script. This is not where we sit down yet. This is where we're going to do the 1, 2, 3, go GymACT backflip so we can finish the meet officially. So let's spread out. So this is what I created early on with our challenges and competitions. So this will be the official ending of the competition. I will say 1, 2, 3, and all together, if you don't mind, go ahead and unmute yourselves. Say "Go GymACT," and then if you can, we will do a backflip wherever you are.
Go GymACT.
I get some feedback on this here, so we'll find out how it works. Athletes are all spread out. I like what I'm seeing here. We got some of the judges may join us. I don't know, Mike, are you gonna do it backflip today? Maybe not. Peter's thinking about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, closing today's competition between UIC and Georgia United teams. Thank you very much. This is the closing. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Go. GymACT.
GymACT.
Go.
All right. Time delay, but it got it done. This is how we do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We will stick around for the post-meet production, which will give you the individual awards as well as some special awards given by the judges as well as the teammates. So thank you guys for participating. If you have other things to do in your life, go ahead and go take care of business. But otherwise, I'll be here for another 10 or 15 minutes, making sure that these guys get the awards they deserve. All right, all right, all right. Let's move on now for the first event. On floor exercise, we had some phenomenal presentations today on the floor. In fact, so many good presentations that 2 of these guys tied with 12.6 on the floor. Both of them from UIC with the 12.6, Mr. Sam Montague and Stephen Forbes. Congratulations. There they are. Awesome. All right, UIC, if you guys want to sit down, excuse me, Georgia, if you guys want to sit down, you're welcome to. All right, moving on to Pommel Horse. We have in first place, he who stays on has a better chance of winning. And with a 10.9 from Georgia United, we have Mr. Hunter Clulo. There it is. All right, but when we call you as a winner, though, you do have to stand up and tell us who you were. There you are. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when they call you, you have to stand up.
All right, now you can sit down again. Sit down. It's like church. You stand up, you sit down. You sit up, sit down. Moving on to the rings. The ring master of today, having had a 12.4 in first place from UIC, Mr. Billy Hollis. That was indeed a great routine. I appreciated that. Moving on to vault. Run fast, jump hard, stick the landing if you can. In first place, ooh, these were close. In first place with a 13.2, a huge vault from UIC, Mr. Sam Montague. There we are. Awesome. Congratulations, Sam. On parallel bars, another close call here. The judges had a tough job to do today. These guys did some good stuff, but the first guy up scored a 12.4. He is from Georgia United Gymnastics, Mr. Adam Hutchinson. Congratulations, Adam. There we go. Where's Christoph? Is he on camera? There he goes. You got him on his phone, friend. Thank you, Christoph. Moving on to high bar. We give you guys all kinds of tough jobs at the meets you're not used to doing. I know that. Thank you for doing it. On high bar, in first place with an 11.8. Looking at the other scores, good job there to UIC's Sam Norwood. First place on high bar today. Congratulations, Sam. That is awesome. Now it's actually one of my second favorite moment of the evening. Day, morning, whatever you are, wherever you are. I know, James, it's already late in your time. But this is the ROV award. So I am going to call on one of the judges. I think, Mike, are you going to be the spokesperson again?
Yep.
Fantastic. So this is the ROV award. I can hear you. Thank you. It is risk, originality, and virtuosity, something that used to be awarded as actual points in gymnastics back in the day when I started competing. And but now it's just a myth. Or something that we talk about in the after party. But here at GymACT, we are presenting this award: risk, originality, and virtuosity, or any one of those or all of those things. So let's see what the judges felt was the most impressive qualitative options of today's meet.
Okay, we saw some good stuff today on all the events, and as honorable mention for the ROV award, we have Sam Montague with the full twisting double layout off high bar, showing some good difficulty and risk in that move. Also, Tim from UIC on pommel horse did the flared Magyar. It's really, pommel horse is really hard, and takes a lot of practice to get a hard skill like that and put it in your routine. But the individual that we decided on to be the winner of the ROV award today is Nick from UIC on parallel bars. He did a really nice Peters, he did a Diamondov, he did a Stutz to handstand and a double back. Really confident and well executed swinging in those difficult support elements. So we'd like to recognize Nick. Congratulations on getting the ROV award today.
All right, Nick, congratulations indeed. And do you have any words to say to the judges or to your fans, adoring fans at home, about your performance today?
I want to say thank you for awarding this to me. Personally, I had a rough start to the meet. I'm a little exhausted from last meet from last week. But my teammates, they really pushed me through. They really gave me the energy, especially on P-bars. Like the last event that I competed, and I didn't have a lot of energy, but they pumped me up and I was able to get that routine. So I want to thank them all.
Sharing the glory right there, as a true champion does. Thank you so much, Nick, and congratulations. That is awesome. All right, thank you, judges. Thank you, Mike, for announcing that there for us. I appreciate it. So the last thing that we do here at the GymACT events, the competitions, is an award that we call the most valuable teammate. And what I ask is that we're going to start with Georgia United. So if you don't mind bringing out one or more of your team captains to present the most valuable teammate award. This is an award that goes from the inside. So these guys have to decide who they feel best represented the spirit of their team today in the competition. It could be overall performance. It could be a one event thing. It could be just, hey, someone who has been working on a skill and finally got to do it. It's up to you what your criteria is. I really don't care, but we're going to have your team captain will be the one announcing this, unless of course the team captain is the one receiving the award, in which case I'll ask one of the other teammates to present it. That way we're not giving yourself a medal.
Yeah,
all right, so they're still talking about it because they didn't know this was happening.
No,
I love it. All right, so Christoph, are you there? Let's get these guys in frame. Appreciate it.
yeah, I think yeah, you're right. They did not know that it was going to happen, so they have to just. Okay,
they got it. But I'd love to see their faces though.
Oh, you want to see their face? Yeah, they. I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go. You know, athletes adapt. The gymnasts, they're used to adapting. That's what we do.
Well, Adam is 7 foot tall, so that's why.
All right, so who's the team captain?
Adam.
I'm the team captain, and for the meet today, we are giving the most valuable teammate to Hunter Kulo.
All right, congratulations, Hunter. Now, Hunter, tell me a little bit about your performance today. How do you feel about your own, from within, from your own heart, about your performance? And then how do you feel about being recognized and honored by your teammates?
Hunter, get a little bit closer.
I don't really have no words for this.
How do you feel? How do you feel about your performance today, according to what how you've been training and how you did today?
I felt pretty good about it. I mean, I've been working hard for this, so I'm just glad I got to be here to be able to do this in front of you.
Awesome, fantastic. Yeah. And are you? Before I let you go, no, I'm gonna keep you on the spot, man. Do you have any changes that you plan on making to your routines between now and nationals?
I plan on trying to get a college school for vaults, and I plan on being able to do P-bars for y'all.
All right, so good luck with that. Stepping up the game, and both in difficulty and the number of events that you're going to be doing for your team. I wish you the best of luck and success in your endeavors there, sir. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the UIC team and recognition of their most valuable teammate for today. So moving on to UIC, let's see what that game ball is going to happen today. Spotlight them here. So so some people may not know about the game ball. And so why don't you explain to us what that jacket is and what it's all about?
All right. So just to start off, I'm James Strevey. I'm the captain of UIC. Our game ball is a vintage warm-up jersey that our coach has saved over the years.
So our gymnast of the meet for our team, he stepped up on an event that he hasn't been doing all season. He also had a very long drive in this morning, unlike everybody else who lives here. So we're all very proud of his work that he's put in this year. And I'd like to bring up Tim.
All right. All right, Tim, congratulations, man. I loved watching your routines today. I saw some improvements for over the last couple of meets on some events, and you know, you look like you've been working hard.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, how do you give us a few words about how you feel on the being recognized by your teammates, and what does that mean to you?
So I mean, this is my first year on the team and first year back in gymnastics for a long time. So it's really cool having these guys just pushing me, giving me tips all the time. Like, I don't live in Chicago, and so a lot of times we communicate over video or whatever, but just having them push me on stuff is a lot different than training on my own. So I'm really thankful for them being able to push me on difficulty and form and stuff. I definitely wouldn't be where I am in my gymnastics if it wasn't for them. So yeah.
That's great, man. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you on your diligence and your determination to maintain your athletic ability and being part of this team. So as you can see, they are just as grateful for you being part of it as you are for them being part of your life. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's presentation of the GymACT Live dual competition between Georgia United Gymnastics and Gymnastics at UIC. I am Breeze Olson, along with James Martin. We thank you all for participating. YouTube, thank you for chatting. Thanks for taking care of keeping us on our toes there. To the coaches, Tyler and Charlie, congratulations to both of your teams. Once again, the judges, Mike and Peter, thanks for being here and for helping us out through this. We couldn't have done it without you. It would have just been James and I talking trash. So there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and aloha. Take care of one another. Be good and stay healthy. See you on the flip side.